They pop crowds. They pop corn. They pop culture. It's the Lowdown.
What is up, everyone? Welcome to the latest installment of the Lowdown Popcast. I am the voice of PCW and the voice of Demons Football, Elliot Popston. To my right is the founder of the hottest wrestling promotion in the Mid-Atlantic. He's the owner and agent of Flyer Float Travel, where you can book your dream getaway at flyerfloattravel.com. He's the host of the Shane event. He can sell ice to an Eskimo. New York's greatest export, Shane Dorr.
What's going on, man?
What's up, Shane?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How are you?
Man, I'm excited about tonight's show. But before we kick that off, to my left is six-time fantasy football champion, podcast enthusiast, soon to be Kevin Nash's favorite podcaster, just like his favorite wrestler. He's been known to outwork everyone, although some may argue he just works everyone, with his self-proclaimed hottest Funko Pop collection, not your average wrestling mark handbook, Johnathan Winburn.
Thanks, Elliot. I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, man.
You know, nobody can be Elliot posting like you.
That's true. I posted that.
He did. He did. Totally did.
Posted that. It's true.
So let's elaborate on that. So I agreed with it. Because, you know, a lot of people, you know, when you post something like that on social media, you know, there's a lot of people that are probably quick to like jump down your throat. But if you read it in context, I mean, you were very specific. There is no you but you.
There is no me.
And I, you know, obviously was able to see, like, you know, conversation go back and forth on that post. So what led to that, Elliot? Because that was interesting.
Honestly, I was just
that's totally not you.
No, I was just feeling confident about myself.
It's good to hear.
That's it. You know, I struggle a lot with comparing myself to others, and you know, I'm to the point now that I'm tired of trying to be who some people may think I am or should be. I'm tired of, you know, comparing myself to others who may have come before me in different fields, or who may currently be in the same field as me. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm dang good at what I do. And it's just one of those things that I'm the best at what I do when it comes to me doing it with me, for me.
Well, I'm confident too, because, man, I am hung like, and I'm going to post it on Facebook. And it gets quiet. Oh.
No, I'm
confident.
I'm the best me. I'm the best version of me. And, you know,
only you.
Oftentimes we try and imitate. You know, imitation is the best form of flattery, but, you know, we try and imitate or impersonate or whatever others when it comes to something that we're trying to succeed at, because we've seen others succeed that way. And I don't want to do that. I just want to be me.
And never compare to somebody else, because you never know, you know, what somebody else is. You know what you see, what they show you, but you never really know. And
honestly, it came with you know, calling the football game I called this past weekend for the first time.
I heard one of the calls. It was good.
Yeah, I was like, man, I should be recording this, and so unfortunately, it wasn't many calls after that. But toward the end of the game, I was like, man, I should be rolling right now. Why am I not recording this to try and get some content? So that's what I did, and you know, I got a lot of compliments on how good it sounded and everything, and
the place was packed.
Yeah, it was a pretty good crowd.
Yeah, I think that was the night we drove by. It was there was a lot of people there. I mean, it's elite football.
Yeah, and it was homecoming, so I mean that was kind of expected. But man, I got a lot of compliments and everything, and you know, just kind of reflecting back at everything that, you know, at 36 years old, suddenly I've decided, hey, you know, these are my passions. These are what I want to try and chase, right? You know, what better way to chase it than to try and just do it? You know, I've always wanted to do public address announcing for football. I've always wanted to ring announce. I've always wanted to be on the radio some way or another. I've always loved voiceovers, and, you know, I'm doing all four of those now.
Checking the boxes.
Well, I think you're great at it. So
I appreciate it, man.
Don't let anybody else tell you differently.
I know.
He won't.
I'll just be like, listen, can't you see my post?
However.
Oh, here we go.
However, I must say that I completely disagree with the post you posted right after that about the Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes.
First of all,
You're
y'all can suck it,
You are a communist. You are a communist.
No,
go to Russia, you prick.
Matter of fact, I had someone try to tell me I was not American, and I said, "Well, check your last name because your last name is German." Okay. So,
well, there you have it. Christmas tree cakes are delicious.
they're gross.
And they're way better than moon pies. They're way better than
Oatmeal cream pies.
oatmeal cream pies.
No, don't
They're better
even
than candy
don't
corn.
even try that. Candy corn's gross.
Yeah,
I do agree. Candy corn's gross.
So I can tolerate candy corn. The chocolate, it's got to have the chocolate bottom. You know, not the white one, but they're okay.
It's wax.
It is, well, true.
It's like if you're eating a flavor candle.
That's about right. Yeah.
I could think of it. Well, maybe we should melt them and just
I
see how they smell.
grew up with in a household that sold Little Debbie cakes for a living.
Oh,
so
you-
there's
You wait till Easter rolls around. People are gonna be pissed at me when I start ridiculing
Wait a
candy.
minute. Yay or nay on Cadbury eggs?
I'm okay with them.
what about Peeps?
Dude. Peeps are disgusting. I don't care what color they are. The pink ones, the yellow ones, they're all gross.
Peeps are gross.
Can you make that sound again?
Peeps are gross. And you know what else is gross?
Wait.
The Hershey hard-shelled eggs.
Hershey hard shell eggs.
Yeah, they're eggs. They're like Hershey's chocolate,
Mm-hmm.
but it's got a hard candy shell, and it's Hershey. I think they're gross.
Is that the one they usually put like the
They're all sorts
the
of
candies in the middle of them?
All sorts of different colors. No,
Oh, there's an egg that they put like the candies. You crack them, open them. They put like multicolored candies in the middle of them. I don't know what they are, but they're gross too.
So I'm not a fan of the snack Peeps, but I'm a big fan of Christian's Peeps.
Yeah, there's few and far between.
Yeah, he's got one right now, and it's Luchasaurus. So,
And Johnathan, so he's got two.
well, yeah, I think Peeps, by the Easter Peeps
They are nasty.
Gross.
I completely agree.
they're gross. Little Debbie Christmas tree cakes suck.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they do.
But keep going. I want to know what else you're like. This is candy talk now.
No, I mean, candy corn is gross.
Yeah, you can have. I can tolerate them, but they're not my favorite.
I just honestly, I could care.
Chocolate covered cherries,
I could care.
cherry cordials,
Whatever. Don't even mess with them.
Yeah, no.
Strawberry candies. Ugh.
strawberry,
Butterscotch
candies.
sucks.
butter. That's too old. That's like, it's like the
Somebody's gonna listen.
licorice,
Werther's original, delish.
licorice,
Oh heck no,
red or yellow or black.
none.
Twizzlers,
No,
really?
they suck.
I love What about the twist and peel ones? So you can pull the string out.
Like the sour straws.
No, they're Twizzlers, but you can pull they're thick, like that thick, and you can peel the.
By the way, he just showed a size of a $50.
Well,
That's his definition of thick.
Anyways,
it's not my wife's.
Rated E for explicit.
Where's my wife? She'll tell you.
She's down there.
Crickets.
Oh, she's sleeping, folks. It's early.
No, God!
That sounds like her.
That's awful. No, but I don't like candy corn.
Can you just imagine Billy Fox listening to this?
Oh, hey,
At that part, he's crying right
first
now.
8 minutes,
Billy,
guys.
he's gonna be texting us.
Speaking of Billy made me some. Dude, I've almost finished the whole bag of deer jerky he made me.
Wait a minute, I didn't even know you got it.
Yeah, I got it Sunday, 2 days ago.
Well, thanks. Is it good?
It is good.
I'll have to try some tonight.
Yeah, it was fresh deer illegally shot by a bunch of hoodlums.
No, hold on. We don't know if it was illegally shot. It was illegally retrieved, but we don't know if it was illegally shot.
Okay, well, I'm gonna plead the fifth.
All they said, hey, can we go through your yard and get our deer? I'm like, yeah, sure. Just don't tell me where it's at and bring me some meat.
Yeah.
I got your meat.
So what's up, guys? Where are we gonna start today? Besides we gotta get the candy conversation, because I'm getting hungry now.
Well, apparently Black Adam sucked, according to several people, which I haven't seen yet, but I'm highly disappointed.
I'm glad this came up early because it's fresh on me and Jonathan's minds because we've seen it. I don't know. I don't really know Jonathan's opinion on the movie other than when we saw it that night, because we haven't really talked about it since. Because
Probably still marinating on it.
Well, and no, I think like I don't want to like perverse his opinion on the movie or get a biased opinion, but it's been several days now, so like The Rock has a lot of good films. He truly does, man. Like ever since his incorporation into the Fast saga, that's shot to the moon, literally, even in the last film, and he wasn't in it, but
wasn't hard. But
so I don't think it was his best movie.
What has been his best movie?
In my opinion, I definitely think Fast 5,
no,
6.
No,
I definitely think. I'm trying to think. The Rundown is up there with one of my favorites. What's the one with the not the avalanche, not that the earthquake?
Oh, San Andreas.
That was pretty good. I like the one where he gets shot in the head toward the end. He had a metal plate in his head.
That's not the one where he's the
Faster.
Yeah, Faster. He's the.
I thought that was pretty entertaining.
That's the one. Is that the one? Is that the one where he's the police officer?
I don't think he was a cop. That was Empire State.
Okay,
Empire State.
that's a good one.
It was The Rock is our generation's Arnold Schwarzenegger.
No.
Yes, he is.
He's
that
a
is not
thousand times better than Arnold.
I'm not saying that he's better
I'd say
or
Sylvester.
worse. I'm just saying is when you see him in a film, you know what you're gonna get. He's really the same in every film. That's all I mean by that. Because Arnold was the same in every film. Stallone was practically the same in every film.
Dude, Over the Top was a
my favorite Rock movies are
Disney.
Jumanji,
Jumanji's very good.
Central Intelligence.
Yep.
So it's the ones that show his comedic side, which was not on display in Black Adam.
Oh, no,
at
it
all.
was
From
my understanding, it was definitely a more serious role.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an anti-hero / villain.
I mean,
Hero.
even the rundown had comedic moments.
It did. I think Sean
Walking
Williams
Tall
got me
did
that movie.
too.
Be
Walking
cool.
Tall's good.
See, I like
Tall.
Walking Tall more than I like Rundown.
Hey, sir,
But Johnny
fix your tail lights. Fix your tail lights. What's wrong with them?
They're broken.
Rundown's one of my favorites.
Yeah, I think him and you're right. The comedy side of him is very funny. Just much like John Cena. John Cena in a serious role is trash.
Isn't
And
he in, like,
Batista.
what is it? What
True. It's a wrestling thing, man.
What movie is it he's in with the little girl? His
Game plan.
Game Plan, yeah.
Joe Kingman. I love cinnamon. I'm allergic to cinnamon. I think The Rock's he's multidimensional, but when you know what you're gonna get when you see The Rock. It's not gonna be a bad film.
Listen, anytime I get him and Kevin Hart together,
You know what you're gonna get. That's all I mean when I say he's today's Schwarzenegger. It's not a shot at him. It's a compliment because Arnold's one of my favorite actors.
oh,
Exactly.
To the chopper.
hey, you know what he orders at Burger King? A Whopper. Oh. Give me a Whopper now.
Insert cuss words. I don't think it was a bad film. I do not. I think it was entertaining. It was fun. It was the post credit scene was still my favorite part of the movie after thinking about it, because I like that where they're gonna go with it.
I do know what that's about.
Yeah,
Only because I read something today that mentioned that.
that's why I had to see it that night, because I know something was gonna come out about it.
It was. I do agree that it was probably the highlight of the movie. But I'm pretty sure I read the same thing you read. It does seem like that what was teased is a ways down the road and not the next step. So I think they're building to something bigger. So
is it lead to him versus him, or is it like
at some point? Yeah.
So there has to be a movie with them in it prior to that. It's got to be a build, right? It's like a good wrestling storyline, that has a proper build to the blow off. I hope.
Is that next movie name? Blow off.
It's probably the next PLE name.
Crown Jewels.
I still can't. I popped at Crown Jewels. That's funny to me. But here's the interesting thing. So, me as a movie fan, if I see Avengers or Infinity War, no matter what it is, any Marvel movie really, for the most part, if it's on TV, I'm going to watch it, right? Because it's that entertaining, especially Infinity War and Endgame. I thought they were brilliant. But if Black Adam's on TV, I don't think I would watch it.
So
it's one of those things.
Me and Elliot actually talked Sunday, and I told him the same thing. I was like, any Marvel movie, just about if it's on TV and I'm just browsing, I'll usually stop it on that and watch it. But I don't know, not just Black Adam, but just about any DC movie. True. I don't think I would stop. Dark Knight, Batman Begins, a few maybe. I mean, I really enjoyed those, but any of the newer ones, I don't know if I would.
I think when it comes down to it, I'm just more of a DC fan, and I don't know if it's because that's what I kind of grew up on. I used to watch Superman and Batman literally all the time. I'd watch Spider-Man. Wasn't really big on Spider-Man, but I'm opposite. Like if there's a DC movie on, I'll stop and watch it. Marvel movie, I'm like, I've seen it. Keep going. And now, what I have done is recently I've watched the Hawkeye series, Disney Plus. Pretty good. In the middle of watching Loki right now. It's been okay. Because I am trying to complete the I did watch Multiverse of Madness.
Oh, Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
Okay, this has been a long time coming.
Yeah.
Well,
I didn't think it was as dark as it was let on to be.
Ooh, you had to be in that movie theater, I guess.
No, I mean, I watched it straight through all the way on the way to Florida. Pop my earbuds in, watched it on my phone, and like 4 or 5 in the morning, wide awake. So I watched it. There was there some darkness to it? Yeah, sure. She was Scarlet Witch, obviously part of the cult. Duh. But I think also it's kind of some of those things that I go into it knowing, hey, this is fake. Hey, the superheroes aren't real, type of thing.
Yeah.
Where if I'm watching, why are you looking at that?
It's still real to me.
where
wrestling's not real.
Where if I'm watching, where if I pull something up, something else different up, like
Hocus Pocus isn't real either.
It's not. I just don't. Just not a fan of Hocus Pocus.
Okay.
Not saying it's not a decent film. I'm just not a fan of Hocus Pocus.
And I wonder if it was more dark to me. Because I went into Multiverse of Madness with Doctor Strange in my mind, not Scarlet Witch, because I haven't seen the shows you're saying I should have seen.
It wasn't as dark to me as me and Shane saw that together, and he was, pretty surprised at how dark it was, and it didn't seem that dark to me. I mean, it was darker than what I thought it was going to be, but it wasn't. But I had also watched WandaVision, and it was,
I had no really idea other than what I've seen.
I
I've heard
knew that
movies.
she was going to be that way.
Well, and some of the stuff that I saw, in Multiverse of Madness, was some of those things. Like in the trailers, I was expecting one thing, but then when I watched the movie, it was what I was expecting was almost like the complete opposite. I was like, oh, okay. So that's good, Wanda, right there, with the whole shattered glass, everything all over her face, all that stuff.
So for kind of going back to Black Adam, that same thing. So there was some things in the Black Adam trailer where I thought things were going to be a certain way in the movie, and they weren't. And those were the parts I enjoyed the most watching the movie. But there was, I had kind of, tempered my expectations, so it wasn't that I don't think it was a bad movie. I don't know if I would watch it again. But it got me back to thinking about the MCU and just different, you have to tell the origin story, and so very few superhero movies get it right as far as it being the best one out of, I think Iron Man 1 was better than Iron Man 2 and 3, but like most of the other ones, like the first Captain America was probably my least favorite out of all the Captain America movies.
I think that has to do with how slow it was, though. The first Captain America was slow in comparison to, especially Winter Soldier.
Yeah,
Winter Soldier was.
And I think, Black Adam starts pretty jam-packed to begin with, but I think starting that hot and then kind of slowing down through most of the movie and then trying to pick back up right towards the end kind of did it in a little bit. But, overall, I think 6.5, but I'm a little higher on my rating scale than Shane is.
Shane gave it a 7.
Mhm.
Yeah, I mean not high. The movie, not that the movie's higher. I'm just higher. Like
It's harder for him
I'm
to give a 6.5.
I'm more critical
Gotcha.
on my movies.
You're harder.
Yeah, and people think I'm tough. No, you got to get by this guy.
9.5 still got wood.
Yeah.
Give it a 10.
Did you say you still got wood? Oh,
10. 10.
okay.
10.
Just making sure I heard that right.
What's the teacher's name? Miss what?
I can't remember.
I can't remember either.
I don't even know what we're talking about right now.
You got a problem, me? I scared my cat.
Varsity Blues.
Varsity Blues.
I've never seen it, guys. I'm working.
First of all, don't
here
you
we go.
dare ever get on me about watching quote unquote cult classics if you haven't seen Varsity Blues.
I've never heard of it.
Shut your face.
I'll Google it right now.
There's no.
Now
way.
I'm thinking of Blues Brothers, but I've never
No
seen
way
it.
you've never heard of Varsity Blues.
Never heard of it. I'm Googling it now. Sorry, guys, if this upsets you. Varsity Blues.
We've talked about this. It has John Voight in it.
Nah, I've never heard of
It's
this.
got James Vanderbeek.
Yeah,
It's got Paul Walker.
Yeah.
big deal. Ali Larder.
That's why I'm surprised you haven't heard of it.
Yeah, I'd have to. I don't even know what it's about.
Whipped cream bikini.
No. Yeah, this doesn't sound like anything I'd want to watch. But anyway, so Black Adam, Black Adam's funny because like it was within that first scene, that initial scene.
That's right.
That initial scene of Black Adam, the fight scene, when he debuts, when he shows up, where in my mind, I went downhill. After seeing it, I'm like, this is not going to be good because, how it appeared, how it came across on the screen was not.
Very CGI.
Oh, it was bad.
You can say it. That's fine.
It was.
I didn't like it.
It wasn't good CGI, I don't think, for one. But it was also another one of those things. I think I've told both of y'all
like the
that
Superman
it's just
mustache.
It was like Flash.
Like that.
Yeah,
bad?
it was like almost like a storyboard. Like it didn't look.
Maybe it was
you had the
intentional.
people moving and the background was staying still. I don't know. It just didn't look right. But I think that's my biggest problem. I think with all the DC movies is that not that they're filmed dark necessarily, but like you can tell, like if you're watching an MCU film, I mean, even the ones in space and stuff, like they just look like the cinematography is nice. The colors are vivid, everything. And I think all the DC stuff is always like, it reminds me of like 300, maybe not stylized as much, but it's just,
I think that's intentional.
like a darker tone and, just, I don't know. It just doesn't, I think it takes away
from
my enjoyment.
In my opinion, that's intentional. But it just hasn't done what they wanted to do. I think they've tried to make
it's a swing and a miss.
Yeah, but the bad thing is they keep doing it. You know what I mean?
It's like the New York Yankees in the ALCS.
I mean,
they're striking out 20 times.
It's like Aquaman.
I didn't think that was bad.
Well, I didn't think it was either. But he's normally got orange and green. Well, they try and tone it down so it's not so bright. Oh, we want to make him look meaner, more masculine. Superman normally has royal blue and red. Well, Man of Steel, what do? He's got navy blue and burgundy. I mean, but the stuff like that they, in my opinion, they do to try and make him
Did it with Wonder Woman too.
Appear more masculine, but it ends up taking away from everything.
I'm a big fan of I think DC has better shows. Well, I mean, the Disney Plus shows with Marvel, to me, feel like movies. They don't even feel like TV shows. I mean, they're filmed the same way. They're just longer.
Yeah.
I'm a huge fan of the DC shows. So Arrow, fantastic. The Flash was fantastic. Legend, Supergirl, like they have all those. But Flash, like you compare the Flash and the TV show. I mean, he's going through multiple like costume changes. And the last one, I mean, it's all vibrant and colorful. But then you compare him to the Flash in the movies, and it's the same thing. I mean, it's super dark. I'm not a fan of the way the suit looks in the movie. I mean, it's just
they try and make it look futuristic.
Yeah,
instead of present day a lot of times.
So who needs to realize first that we were speaking about James Gunn off the air earlier. He's kind of floated between DC and Marvel with several films. What do we got to do to get a huge blockbuster Marvel DC crossover film that will truly make everybody a lot of money?
Your issue's Warner Brothers
and ego.
Yeah, I don't think it'll happen. But
no, I'm not saying. I'm thinking it's going to happen.
No,
but
your issue's Warner Media.
It needs to.
That's why it's Warner Media. They're the issue. I mean, look at all the HBO. The majority of the HBO Max stuff you have is what? It's dark. It's dark, drama, action shows. I mean, that's where you have Game of Thrones. That's where you have the new dragon, whatever, from Game of Thrones.
House of Dragon.
That's where you had Watchmen. Super dark. All of their big shows. I think Lucifer was it Lucifer?
That's DC. So I mean, it was on. It came
HBO,
on TV first.
It was on HBO Max, right?
I think it was on Netflix. I think Netflix bought the rights to it because they wanted to continue it. It might be on HBO.
Yeah,
Max
I thought it was HBO. Maybe it was Showtime, but nevertheless, everything has the same kind of pattern. It's dark. There's nothing vibrant about it. It's shot dark. And I think when it comes down to it, I think it's just a Warner Media thing.
I'm just thinking from a fan perspective, as a wrestling fan, I would love to see an AEW WWE crossover. As a movie fan, I would love to see a DC Marvel crossover.
I mean, they've done it in the comics before.
Correct.
So I mean, they have some groundwork, but so the James Gunn thing, just so people are aware, it came out today that James Gunn and Peter Safran were named co-chairmen and CEOs of DC Studios. So they're going to be in charge of all the movies. Now, Gunn has already come out and said that this last Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is his last one. Like, he's done with Guardians.
He's fulfilled his obligations.
Think back to, he was in the middle of filming or getting ready to film the second one when there was some like old stuff that got brought up about him, and like Disney just cut ties. That was when he went to Warner and signed on to do Suicide Squad. And then Disney, like the outcry from the media or, from fans and stuff was that, it wasn't as serious as it was made out to believe, or it didn't, he shouldn't have been, I mean, he's a comedian kind of thing, like they kind of took it back, and Disney rehired him but he had already signed on to do Suicide Squad too. So he'd finished that, and then he went back to do Guardians. But I think that might still stick in his head. They were just quick. I mean, as soon as it came out, I mean, it was like minutes that Disney had come out and said like he was done. He wasn't going to be the director. I mean, even the cast for Guardians come out and were like, well, if he's not going to be the director, like, we don't know if we're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And so, I think Warner picking him up and just kind of taking him, I think that had a lot to do with his decision to jump on board with Warner.
Well, I bet you they're paying him a lot of money.
Anyone watch the Peacemaker show yet?
I have. It's good.
No, but I love watching Sean Legacy as Peacemaker. Sorry.
It would be even better if you had actually saw Peacemaker, because it looked like dead on.
That did the dance and everything.
Yeah, the whole thing. That's what, like, the opening credits. I mean,
Sean's
just
doing that like
this whole
everywhere
dance thing, and it said that I think Cena just did it on his own, and they were like, "Oh, you got to do that in the opening credits." And so, I mean, it's like the stupidest thing ever, but that's what makes it funny. The whole character is just whole character is Cena to a T. Like, that's when Cena's at his best, because it's all comedic.
Comedy,
it's
man.
all comedic with a little bit of action.
And him with that. What's the blonde woman from George of the Jungle? She's in all those funny movies.
Leslie Mann.
Leslie Mann. Him and her together are hilarious. And Elliot's favorite movie, Blockers.
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Oh man,
there's a lot. Man, I'm just sitting here scrolling through the different DC shows. I'm like, man, there's a lot of good ones.
Now the other guy that was co-CEO for DC, the Peter Safran, he's actually a producer. He's already done some DC stuff, so Shazam, Aquaman.
I was a fan of Shazam. A lot of people gave it a lot of flack, didn't like it. I was a fan.
He's also been the producer for The Conjuring, Annabelle, The Nun.
Those are some of my favorite films.
So he's
dark.
I was gonna say he's been a producer for a lot of things, but that's all. When I look at it, it's dark.
The Conjuring universe is amazing. Let's not.
So I'm just looking at some of these DC comic action shows. You had Gotham. I thought it was a great series. Which was also dark. I liked how it ended.
Low key Gotham. When I started it, a lot of people gave it a lot of
low key or low key.
Yes,
low key.
Low key.
Maybe it was there, maybe it wasn't.
Gave it a lot of flack and said it was because it wasn't. It was trying to tell its own story. It wasn't tying into things. They changed some stuff, which is what I enjoyed about it. But by the end of it, I mean, I thought the show was fantastic. I was sad to see it come to an end because I mean I just really enjoyed watching it.
I was excited to see, Batman become Batman. Have you seen Titans? DC Titans.
I've seen Titans. I'm caught up on Titans.
I'm a fan of Titans.
Titans is good.
I've seen all the seasons of Arrow.
Arrow is fantastic.
Let's see what else.
You had Flash, Arrow. So Flash, Arrow, Supergirl,
Doom Patrol,
Legends of Tomorrow,
Superman and Lois.
Superman and Lois are all kind of tied. Batwoman are all kind of tied in the same universe.
Black
and they've
Lightning.
done crossover shows.
You seen Black Lightning?
Like, I started watching it. So I always watch it with the family, all the shows, and we started watching Black Lightning, and it was different than how I thought it was going to be the first
slow.
episode. And so we just at the time, I don't think I was ready for my son to kind of watch that stuff. I mean, it was the message it was trying to tell.
Yeah.
So I had full intentions of going back and watching it myself, and I've watched a little bit, but just hadn't caught up on it. Which I haven't watched like the last 2 seasons of The Flash either. So.
I haven't watched Batwoman. I've watched Doom Patrol. I've watched Krypton. I was a fan of Krypton, but it got canceled.
Doom Patrol was by far the weirdest one out of all of them.
Oh yeah, because it's almost like it's trying to lead up to Suicide Squad. It seems like it's very weird.
Yeah, in a way.
But yeah, a lot of different ones for sure. I'd even forgotten they did a season of Constantine. Completely forgotten about that. But I mean,
I'm just thankful, off topic, I'm just thankful that I have guys in my life like you two that have encouraged me to get into episodic shows. I'm not into the episodic superhero shows yet. I need to be, especially here in Johnathan. Like, well, I go to all these films, I go to all the mainstream films, but there's a lot in the gaps that I'm missing.
Oh, and that they're doing now intentionally too.
Like if you want to see this, you want to enjoy it to its fullest, you need to see XYZ.
I finished all the seasons of Winter Soldier. Is it Falcon and Winter Soldier on Disney Plus?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, the DC shows not so much, but all the Marvel shows directly, I mean, like have major ramifications for the MCU. I mean, WandaVision had a lot to do with
multiverse.
Doctor Strange, the
what
Falcon, Winter Soldier. It pretty much leads right into the next Captain America movie.
I'm not thinking like I'm still able to go to the film and see it in its entirety and understand what's going on, but you can't fully
I think here
appreciate it.
I think what Marvel's doing right, or Disney, that DC or Warner Media has done wrong, is Marvel has created movies, and now they're going back or going forward, either one.
They're filling in the gaps.
They're filling in the gaps with the TV shows using the same actors.
That's key.
But it's also a way of
DC
bringing in smaller characters that wouldn't normally like have the name value to headline a movie, or if it came out. I mean, it's Marvel, so I think it would still make money. But some of the characters like Moon Knight, I mean, I haven't know who he was from.
I haven't watched that one yet.
Playing video games, but it wouldn't have been like, oh, I got to watch it. I mean, I'll watch it on Disney Plus because I know it has to do with the MCU. But it really, and I think it's probably out of all of them, it's probably the more standalone one where I don't know how, like I'm not sure yet how it's going to tie into other factors.
One thing we saw was they brought in Kingpin into Hawkeye.
Mm-hmm.
They brought in Kingpin, the same Kingpin that was used in
Daredevil, and Daredevil
in the
himself,
Netflix series.
The guy that plays
Matt
Daredevil,
Murdock.
Matt Murdock.
Yeah,
Daredevil, the guy and the actor that plays him shows up in She-Hulk too. I mean, like he's like full on in Daredevil costume.
And he was also in Spider-Man.
Shows up in She-Hulk. So I mean,
wasn't he in Spider-Man No Way Home?
Mm-hmm. As an attorney.
But he was Matt Murdock, the attorney. Then he caught something that came through the window. It's like, wait, how'd you do that?
And then that's not. I don't think that's spoiling anything because they have come out and said that there's going to be like 20 episode series of Daredevil coming out next year. But he shows up in She-Hulk. I mean, the What If, it's a like 30-minute cartoon show on Disney Plus, but it had a lot to do with Multiverse of Madness, like the Captain Carter.
Yep.
She was like the main person of the cartoon, and she showed up, like the same voice actress, as Peggy showed up, and that was her in the movie.
But what I was saying was, I think what I've noticed with DC is they got these great TV shows, right? But if they were to do a movie and bring with the same type of character for these great TV shows, they use a different actor. So now people who's been watching these TV shows for the past 8 seasons or 10 seasons or whatever, movie comes out, now they have a different actor for use Flash as an example. They got a completely different actor as Flash, so the guy you've been used to suddenly isn't the guy, and it's like, man, I don't want to watch this. I've invested my past 10, 12 seasons in Flash, and now I have this.
Well, they actually one of the last episodes of The Flash that I've actually watched, because like I said, I'm like 2 seasons behind. They did this whole like multiverse arc for like 3 or 4 episodes, and they had a scene where the Flash from the movie showed up and had like a face-to-face with the Flash from the TV show, which was kind of neat. And I'm hoping, because I like the Flash from the TV show much better, just his character, and then all the legal troubles that the Flash from the movie seems to be going through right now. I'm kind of curious to see, because there's a Flash movie coming out, as long as it's done, like filmed, and as long as it doesn't get canceled, I think I'd be curious to see if they try to change courses, because that one's going to have to do with the multiverse too. I mean, they're slated to have Ben Affleck play Batman, but also have Michael Keaton play Batman.
Well, last I heard, Michael Keaton was no longer in the works for that.
For Batgirl, but he's still supposed to be filmed. Like, he already filmed the scenes. I mean, they have like stills and stuff of him already with the Flash. So I'd be curious to see.
What about Batson? Is he going to be in there at all?
That I don't know. I mean, I think if they're going to do the multiverse, I don't think that they got announced pretty quickly that Michael Keaton was on board. So I'm kind of curious to see like what surprises and what Easter eggs they have in there, because there's so much they could tell.
Jack Nicholson comes back. Wait, isn't he supposed to be dead?
Because Batgirl got canned, right? That movie?
Yeah. And I think it was supposed to tie into the Flash at some point, but
I also heard that HBO Max is coming out with like Batman Beyond or another Batman because later down in the Batman comics, if I remember correctly, doesn't Bruce Wayne start training his nephew or something like that?
So there was a Batman Beyond cartoon a while back, and
which kind of
extend it a little,
which is kind of confusing to me because I didn't know Bruce Wayne had any siblings. So
yeah, I mean, I'm not like super versed on the like all the comic book lineage, but the Gotham Knights video game just came out this past week, and I bought it, and me and my son were playing it, and the whole story is that Batman dies, and you have Robin, Nightwing, Red Hood, and Batgirl kind of take the mantle and defend Gotham. And then the opening trailer, like cinematic trailer, it gives like Bruce's uncle giving his eulogy, and I was like, that's the first I've ever heard of like Bruce having an uncle. Like, it's always just been Bruce and his and his dead parents and Alfred. So it's probably a lot more. I don't know.
Well, and then when it comes to Robin, you have to say, oh wait, which Robin is it? Because they've had 3, but we know
it's actually been like 5,
and one that was never done anything with, a potential one with Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah, well, I was talking about in the comics. I
think there's actually been like 5. So you had Dick Grayson, which goes on to be Nightwing.
Nightwing, yeah.
Then you had Tim Drake, which is Robin. I mean, I think he stays as Robin, or he might go off to be Red Robin. Jason Todd, which is Robin, and he goes on to be Red Hood. You've actually had a female Robin. I think her name was Carrie. In
Red Hood died, didn't he?
Sort of.
Yeah.
He goes missing, and then that's kind of his story. He goes missing, and then I think the Joker brainwashes him to think that Batman stopped looking for him, and so then he kind of is after Batman for a little while, and he kind of comes back. Then you have Damian.
That's in Titans. That's part of Titans, but that's not the Joker.
Yeah, it was. They kind of sort of changed it a little for Titans, but that's how the comics went. And then Damian is the newest Robin, and he's actually Batman's son with Talia al Ghul, I think.
Ah, okay. Yep.
There's been a lot of Robins.
Which is the Al Ghul's is interesting too, because you also had Arrow. Arrow had a child by the Al Ghul's as well in the Arrowverse, you know. Oh yeah.
I'm trying to remember one of the cartoons. Remember Neil Patrick Harris played one. Neil Patrick Harris played Robin in a cartoon. I'm trying to remember which cartoon that was.
Was it The Adventures of Batman? Hanna-Barbera one? Look at what Hanna-Barbera Batman.
But I feel extremely confident that I'm going to win last week's T-bet about opening weekend, or like the total box office.
72 million it opened up to.
Right, but I was looking. I think you.
That's right in par with the first Black Panther.
No. You looked at the wrong thing, because I thought that I was like, that don't make no sense to me. So Black Adam for the whole weekend made 67. Black Panther made 67 the first day. Black Panther made almost 200 million opening weekend in the U.S.
Oh, it's U.S. We're going worldwide here. Rock's big,
right
across the pond.
Okay.
Bigger than Chadwick across the pond.
Well, Black Panther made 1.3 billion globally. So
we'll get there.
I was like, you said that the other day. You were like, well, they both are on par to make the same amount. And I was like, I don't seem right. And then I
thought it was 72 million in the first day that Rock made.
Right, that's what you looked. I think that's what you were comparing it to. But it was 72 million for the whole weekend, not just the first day.
Well, Rock's still on par to make a lot of money. Good for him.
And I'm on par to make a T.
You're not. Whatever.
Actually, I got two. Yeah, I got one. I earned one right before we got up here.
What? No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
The bet was that I bet you would like it or you could tolerate it, and you're like,
that's not what you said. No,
it was.
No,
it was.
You're
twisting
like
words.
You said I would like it. I didn't like it. I could tolerate it. That's not what the bet was.
You're wrong.
Okay.
We will listen to my recording and my camera's downstairs.
Okay.
We'll listen it back. See, I always got to make sure we're recording Johnathan because he likes to twist things. Like Twisted Tea over here. That's his new nickname.
That's Brisk, baby.
We already have somebody whose nickname is Twisted.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it's a long story. It is a funny story, but I don't think you get. I don't think you get appreciation on the air.
What up, Keith Sweat?
I don't know who that is. Rapper.
Oh my god.
Times like this, I just want to unplug everything, just walk out of the room. Who's Keith Sweat? I don't know. Who's Toby Keith?
I've never heard of him, but
Keith Sweat is one of the biggest R&B.
He's a rapper. I was close.
No, that's different.
It's all the same thing.
It's not.
It is. Rap, R&B, hip hop, same stuff.
Yeah, so is country and punk. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Fair point.
Hey, Blink 182 is the same as the Judge. No difference.
They sound the same.
Oh man.
Did you get tickets? Blink 182
to the gun show? Oh no.
No. Daddy ass.
Dude, the tickets for Blink 182 was running $500 a pop.
I had a couple at 180 a piece. I should have bought them, resold them.
Could have flipped them.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't do that.
Yeah.
I should have bought them and gave them to my wife.
No, but I am going to see J.D. Messina this weekend.
Oh God, I'd go there for Taylor Ingle.
No,
I wouldn't go there for.
That's
Jody
where I'm
Messina.
going. Going to see my brother-in-law.
I'm probably going to watch Pray for the Devil this weekend.
Yes, Friday. I'm ready for that. That looks pretty frightening. It's a short film, only 90 minutes long.
Probably going to either Clemson, Miami, or Clemson, Louisville. Maybe going to Clemson, USC. We'll see.
Elliot, every time you say you're going to a Clemson game, you never end up going. So just buy the tickets and just tell us when you're going.
Well, no, I had a buddy of mine call me today. I was like, hey, when were you looking for tickets? If I go to USC, it's just a tailgate. What's the people?
Well, I worked the fair last Saturday for the home game, and now don't get me wrong, the game started off really hot in Carolina's favor, but it was, blocks away from the stadium. It was electric downtown Columbia last Saturday.
Yeah, I got a friend of mine that works at the fair, that's working at the state fair inside a building, and he texted me because he thought I was working at the fair. He goes, "Did you feel that?" I said, "No." "What do you mean?" And he's like, he told me what happened on that kickoff return. And he was like, dude, I ain't never felt something like that before.
Yeah, it was a good return. Dude ran out of his shoe. So fast, it makes fast people look not fast.
You think Clemson's gonna go with DJ? Stick with DJ?
Yeah.
Or do you think they're gonna?
No, stick with DJ. Guy has a back. He's 17 touchdowns and 2 interceptions for the year. Has a bad game. You put in your backup who is able to get us the win, and you go back with the guy who's been leading you all year.
See, but I mean, obviously, I'm not a Clemson fan, but the same conversation that we've had about like Cooper Rush in Dallas is the opposite of how I feel with Clemson. Like, I feel like when I watch Clemson, like DJ doesn't do anything. Like, are they winning? Sure. But he doesn't do anything where I'm like, oh, man, like he's a heads-up play.
Doesn't turn the ball over.
Well, yeah, neither does Cade Klubnik. I mean, Cade Klubnik came in against Georgia Tech, threw a touchdown pass against Georgia Tech's backups. All right. Then they faced Furman. They put him in against Furman, and he just crapped the bed.
I didn't watch the Furman one.
I mean, he played awful. This game, I think he only threw 4 times. He only threw 4 times in the second half.
I mean,
Clemson ran the ball. Clemson had over 300 yards rushing for the game. So I mean, their ground game was on point. I mean, Cade Klubnik, I think Cade's a little bit faster. I think Cade's got the potential to be really good. I do. He's just young.
Well, he's your future. What is he?
He's
sophomore,
true
freshman?
True freshman.
Yeah, he's a freshman. Yeah, shoot.
And if he doesn't play anymore for the rest of the year, you can redshirt him.
I'm just excited to see the Gamecocks in the top 25. It's been a minute.
8-4.
Oh, bro,
Said it last week.
And I've been quiet about it, because I don't ever want to
Jinx it.
Yeah, well, you don't want to it's great to be top 25 or sitting at 25, but it's a far cry from where I'd want to be, where I want to see us. So it's kind of hard just to brag about.
Well,
it'll be top. It'll be top 20 in the year.
I just look at it. It's not where I want to be either. I mean, but the way they played that.
Look at where you came from.
I'll say the way that they played that first game and then getting demolished by Georgia and losing Arkansas, it didn't look good. And then since then, we've at the second half of the fourth game, it seems like we've picked it up since then, and now we look. You played how I thought we were going to look at the beginning of the season.
You played some confidence building games, games where you could
and demoralizing ones.
Yeah, but what I'm talking about after Georgia and after
for
cupcakes.
Sure.
Confidence builders. I mean it's teams you pull in so they can make money. It's nothing to benefit you other than you get to heal up if you have to, open up your playbook some, work on some stuff, and when you played those games, you took care of those games. You didn't almost screw the pooch on them. I mean, you took care of business. You were able to learn how to establish a run game against UNC Charlotte. You also, what was the other one? You got SC State was the other one. Both of those, you were able to establish your run game. I think you got to kind of know the playbook a little bit better. You also have to remember. And I know people are giving Spencer Rattler a bunch of crap right now. He's in a brand new system that is not easy to learn. Spencer Rattler's good. I don't think he's as good as people
that they wanted him to be.
He's not as good as USC fans wanted him to be. He's not. There's a reason he lost his starting position in Oklahoma. There's a reason that when he came to Oklahoma, he was not the starter to begin with. Jalen Hurts leaves. Spencer Rattler steps in. The next year, what happens? Caleb Williams comes in, replaces Spencer Rattler. I've been the same year. But that does not mean Spencer Rattler isn't good.
Carolina to be fantastic. I mean, that's where I would like us to be. But I mean, Spencer could. I think he could leave after this year. But I think from a draft stock, he's based on the way he's playing now. Like I feel like we'll have him again next year, which is
Better hope so.
Which is where, like, that's
for his
what I'm,
sake.
like,
he's having his worst statistical year of his career.
Which is where I like, to me, I think that's when he'll be best. I mean, like you said, he'll have a whole year under the system. We got some recruits coming in.
But it just goes to show you too, like with a starting quarterback that's playing as, I don't want to say as bad as he is, but let's say as poorly as he is. Where could we be if we had a quarterback that was playing at the potential that we as fans thought he could perform at?
Yeah, but you also got to look
exactly where we're at now.
Hey, you also got to look at, though, he's throwing a ton of balls that have been very catchable, and the wide receivers have completely dropped them.
And it's led to interceptions too, as well. Tipped interceptions. It's led to a couple of those.
I get it. People want to point the finger at somebody. Sometimes you got to point the finger at your receivers. I mean,
so they had
this past week they had
the
wide open in the end zone. It goes right through the guy's hands.
My mind went blank. Who's the starting running back?
Lloyd?
Yeah, so Lloyd came out because there's been a lot of criticism about the OC, offensive coordinator position. And Lloyd came out and said, like, guys, you got to give him the break. Give him a break. It's on the players. It's not on him. A lot of it's not on him. It's on us not executing and stuff. So,
I saw that tweet.
So, I mean, it's, they're aware that, I mean, a lot of it is on them too.
Yeah, Marshawn Lloyd.
Yeah, my mind went blank for a second.
Yeah, football's fun this weekend.
It was. I didn't really watch as much college, but
what a weird NFL season it is, dude.
Yeah, it's all over the place. I don't even know what to like make of anything, hardly.
All right, so I'm gonna go out on a limb. Tom Brady's done after this year. I think he's done.
Does he even finish the year?
Yes, he came out and said he's committed to this team for the year.
He also came out and said he was retiring.
Yeah, but he actually did retire.
I have to pay a penalty.
This man's lost his wife. This man's lost the season. This man's losing everything. He's done after this year, and it's gonna be sad.
I'm not completely sold he's done at the end of this year. I think it makes sense for him to be done.
Okay, so either he's retires or he does leave and play somewhere else.
Goes back to New England.
I think he's always had his heart set on the Miami Dolphins. That's just or San Francisco somewhere, but Miami for sure.
I could see San Francisco.
Huh? I said that would be dangerous.
Yeah,
he's gonna stay where he's gotten used to the heat. He's staying warm.
I could see San Francisco,
but I mean, there was leaks that he wanted to go to Miami in the first place. But
I mean, San Francisco.
I don't know.
I don't see them picking him up. I think their coach would be too worried that he wouldn't necessarily buy into the system.
Well, he's a LeBron James of the NFL. He's the coach of whatever team he goes to.
I think
so I would say I don't feel confident that he's going to retire at the end of the season. However, I mean, he has
become the first player coach
10-year, $400 million contract to be a Fox analyst, just waiting for as soon as he retires. So I mean that if he didn't have that, I don't know if he would retire. But that he's making more. He would make more off of calling the game than he would play.
It's so weird, man, because like I like going back to Tom Brady interviews and the way he talks and the way he carries himself and like verbally. I don't think I can get into him as an analyst.
Oh, I absolutely, dude. Tom Brady is hilarious to me. I've watched way too much of his stuff, especially when he reads the tweets about himself.
So you say that I am one of my least favorite players of all time is Peyton Manning.
I can't stand
and Eli,
Peyton.
But they do Monday Night Football on ESPN2, and it is the funniest thing in the world. And I don't like Eli or Peyton. But,
yeah, I hate them both.
Yeah, I don't
Especially
like either
Eli.
one of them. But it is fantastic to watch. Like I don't even want to watch Monday Night Football, the regular broadcast, because it's just watching it with them is hilarious. So
it's I can't get over it. Like it just like makes me angry to know that Eli Manning is a future Hall of Famer.
Two Super Bowl champions.
That hurts my soul. Like, well, and I think the best thing of his career is he upset the undefeated Patriots in the Super Bowl. So it's like, God dang it, I hate it. I hate Eli. I hate you, Eli. Speaking of which, Dallas Cowboys, Dak Prescott's back. That's our quarterback.
Put in Cooper.
Well, as soon I sent the message as soon as Cooper lost. I said, "Well, that's it." That was my. I just didn't, not that I thought Cooper was the better statistical quarterback by any means, but at the time, the team,
he's got a 4-0 touchdown interception.
The team was winning in its entirety. As soon as they lose, all right, Dak's back.
They lost,
and then Dak didn't play well Sunday at all.
Nope.
But kind of speaking on the Brady thing and the analyst, we all love Tony Romo and his calls, but it was probably one of the moments where I was like, man, just pay the guy whatever he wants to pay him, because Romo will call out the play before it happens.
He's the Nostradamus.
But the very last play, now the Cowboys are playing the Lions. The game is over. I mean, there's no way the Lions are going to come back. I mean, it's
24-6.
It was 17-6. It was for the last touchdown, and it was like 4th and 2, and they go to commercial, and as they're going to commercial, they're like, right at the goal line or whatever, and Tony's like, just let him go for it. Dak's going to talk him into going for it. And I was like, there's no way. The game's over. There's like a minute left on the clock, a minute 55 on the clock. The game's in the bag. Like, they're just going to kick the field goal. Sure enough, they come back from break. They fake it, and it's the rollout tight end pass, and he's wide open. And Tony's like, see, I told you. I was like, well, that doesn't make any sense.
I love it.
Like, every analyst would say, like, oh, they're just going to run the ball. If they're going to go for it, they're just going to run it. But that's all they had been doing, is just running the clock down. So they was like, Dak's going to talk him into going for it. Sure enough, that's exactly what they did.
I don't think Dak statistically was bad. But it was his first game back. The Cowboys, let's just all get on the same page with the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys' heart and soul is their defense. They're definitely top 5 defenses in the NFL right now. They're only giving up 12, 14 points a game. They're amazing. So I think that's gonna if Dallas makes a run, it's gonna be the defense that saves them, because that's about the only thing I have full confidence in.
Yeah, I agree, but I don't think their offense, either under Dak or Cooper, I don't think the offense is clicking by any means. Which,
and they have a lot of weapons. It's just like
just spells typical Cowboy disaster when they get to the playoffs.
Absolutely, that's what I'm afraid. And again, that's where I'm hoping the defense comes in. It's still my heart. It's not going to happen, but it's still my heart to see another Cowboys-Bills Super Bowl.
So Handbook, what's the rundown from this past week, football wise?
Before we get into that, because I just don't want to forget, because this has been discussed. But the biggest news going into the week was that the 49ers traded for Christian McCaffrey.
Oh yeah, yep.
Dumb.
And that was Shane's reaction. So we discussed last week that we needed to have a T-bet.
Yeah, look how he performed. Look how he performed versus how Eckler performed.
So,
doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Eckler
it always matters when you run into a brand new offense.
Oh boy!
Did you play football?
Yes.
Yeah, it always matters when you run into a brand new offense. You have to, especially when you've been there for 3 days. Come on, man.
Okay. Yeah.
He didn't even practice with the team.
Excuses, boys. Excuses.
But I
keep going.
That McCaffrey, from this point forward, McCaffrey will have a better statistical year than Eckler, and Shane does not think that. So I think that there definitely needs to be a bet somewhere tonight involving McCaffrey versus Eckler.
So I looked up.
It's hard to bet.
I looked up something. Why is it so hard to bet?
I can't predict somebody's statistical year. Eckler is going to be the better long-term player for his team than McCaffrey will be.
But
for his
he hasn't been.
He will be.
He hasn't been.
He will be. 3rd-year starter. He will be.
I don't see it.
Okay, well, you don't see it.
I mean, McCaffrey is probably the best overall back in the NFL.
McCaffrey just rolled his ankle at that statement.
You do realize Eckler's been injured more than McCaffrey, right?
I'm just saying.
And did you realize that according to like when you look at the injury stats, they say that Eckler is more prone to injury than McCaffrey is?
That's fine.
Because of the knees and the shoulders.
McCaffrey's fresher for us because we live in the Carolinas, and that's all you hear about. Because I think it was a win-win for both teams. Like I originally I was definitely on San Francisco's side and was like, man,
You wait till Carolina lands the number 1 pick. You watch.
Okay, they get a first-round pick. They suck at every other round, though.
Yeah, what's that got to do with anything? They didn't get a first-round pick from the 49ers.
No, but they loaded up with him to trade up. That's the point of it.
I think it's a win-win because I don't think so. From that standpoint, I think what they got makes sense for both teams. I think 49ers get a good player, a great player, and I think the Panthers get enough in return to kind of set them up, with some picks. My problem is, yes, you want to win. Like that's the goal in professional. I mean, you want to win the championship, and I don't think so. To me, I don't think Carolina was anywhere close to getting it this year. So I get getting what you can get for the player, but McCaffrey was by far, and I mean by far, the biggest merch seller, the face of the franchise. I mean, like you looked in the stadium, that's all it was McCaffrey jerseys, and I mean he was the one that was always on all the ads for the Panthers and stuff like that. And to me, that's a lot for a fan base to lose.
I got a jersey for a friend of mine last year, big Carolina Panthers fan, and I said, "Hey, which jersey you want? I can get whatever jersey you want. Let me know." He's like, "Man, I kind of want to get Christian McCaffrey, but I don't think he'll be with us next year. Give me Luke Kuechly, because Luke Kuechly had retired. He retired as a Panther. He'll always be a Panther. Give me Luke Kuechly." So I got him a Kuechly jersey. And I saw him the other day. He's like, or talked to him the other day, and he said, "Man, something told me don't get the CMC jersey." I said, "Yeah, how you feeling about it?" He said, I don't have confidence in it because when it comes to the Panthers and how they draft, they haven't been very good."
I mean, it's professional sports, and nowadays, it wasn't that long ago that people just said that NFL didn't even really do trades, and then over the last couple of years, there's been some big ones, which is good. I think it's good for the league. But as a Titans fan, AJ Brown was probably my second favorite player on the team, and then draft day this year, he just got traded to the Eagles. So I was getting ready to buy AJ Brown jersey, and it was the same thing. He got traded. So it's a ruthless business, but it is a business. At this point, it's not, say what you want about the transfer portal and the NIL and stuff like that, but this is pro sports. The whole goal of the franchise is to win and put yourself in the best position. So
win now.
If you can get, or set yourself up to win in a certain window. So if the Panthers think that they're going to have a shot at the first round pick, and that's usually when that's the best time for teams to do it, because if they have a young quarterback that's on his rookie contract, they have money to spend elsewhere. That's why the Chiefs had to let go of Tyreek Hill, because they gave Patrick Mahomes all that money.
Yep. My question is, where do they? I guess my question just is, where do they go? Who do they? What do they get? They just got
Carolina.
Yeah,
they got to go for a quarterback.
Man, I disagree with that. The reason I disagree with it is because they ain't got no line. There's no good in getting a quarterback if you ain't got a line to protect him.
They definitely need a quarterback. I've watched Baker play this year before he got hurt. He ain't cutting it.
So my gut is that Carolina, with their abundance of draft picks now, they're gonna trade up into the top 5. They'll be top 3 draft pick. That's what I think my goal would be, moving that piece.
It's got to be offensive. Their defense is decent, pretty good.
Now, if they use the picks that they got from the 49ers to move, if say they finish with the 5th pick or later, and they use those picks to move up, then that's different.
Then they win. They win.
I think either way they win, because I don't think
Panthers won that trade.
Sean
McCaffrey, other than face of the franchise,
don't say Sean Payton
wasn't hating.
That's what you say.
Question:
Sean, helping them win anything?
You think Sean Payton ends up at Carolina?
No, absolutely not. No, not a chance.
Why?
No chance.
Why you say no chance?
Because it's just not going to happen.
Why?
If Sean Payton coaches anywhere as an NFL team again, it will be when Mike McCarthy leaves Dallas and he goes to Dallas, where he started. That's where it's going to be. It's not. That is Jerry's boy. Always been Jerry's boy. He is DC4L. That is a Cowboy. He's not going anywhere but Dallas if he coaches again. That's a T bet. That's my T bet.
Who that?
I'm not betting that.
Oh.
I didn't say he was going to Carolina.
He will never end up in Carolina, and Carolina would be even more dumb to waste all their draft picks as compensation to get him there. That is stupid.
Oh no, you wouldn't. I mean, you wouldn't be wasting draft picks for compensation to get him there.
And another, they would. They'd have to trade to get him out of that early deal because New Orleans still owns the rights.
Nah, Tepper would just buy it out.
And then also, let's not forget that Carolina doesn't want that black eye because Sean Payton was part of that pay your
Bounty Gate.
The Bounty Gate.
Yeah, but he
much drama.
He was part of Bounty Gate, but then returned to New Orleans after Bounty Gate.
The only team that's willing to handle that drama is the Dallas Cowboys.
No, I disagree.
So I'm not betting that, but name your price on the T-bet.
I'll have to think. Let's keep going throughout this podcast.
I've given you like a week to think about it.
As soon as something comes to mind that's a fair bet for both sides, I will spit it out.
Well, if you're so high on the hog with Eckler, why would you not do that?
That's not a T-worthy bet.
I mean, you were completely against McCaffrey having any success in.
I still don't think he will. I don't think he's gonna be a success.
Okay, well then we can take Eckler out.
Can we bet who gets injured first?
No, that's too unpredictable.
Everything's unpredictable. Anyway,
not Black Panther beating Black Adam in the box office.
No, that might be a loss, but I can eat that one.
So let's eat this one too.
I got a little more confident.
Does Eric Bieniemy finally get his shot as a head coach?
Who?
Eric Bieniemy.
Oh, I didn't hear what you said.
I hope so. I think he deserves it.
Think David Tepper be the one to give him a shot? God, just please don't try and hire someone from college again.
That doesn't work.
It doesn't.
Do you remember when Steve Spurrier went to the NFL?
Yeah, he was garbage.
So do you remember when Nick Saban went to the NFL?
Yeah, he was garbage.
It's a common path here.
But NFL.
So what college coach has made the most success in the NFL, making that transition?
Well, you could say Pete Carroll, but Pete Carroll started in the NFL.
True. This has to be straight from college to the NFL and found success.
I can't name one right offhand. I mean, you have. Kingsbury's not really having the success everybody predicted in Arizona. I would say you reverse it. I mean, like Harbaugh was having success in the NFL and then went to college.
Well, no,
Michigan doing okay, but I mean,
Harbaugh had success at Stanford, went to San Francisco, had success at San Francisco, went back to Michigan.
So I mean, that might be the best.
Probably Harbaugh.
Case. Harbaugh is up there. I'm just gonna name the list because it's interesting to me. So this
Jimmy
year.
Hold on. Jimmy Johnson, man.
Jimmy Johnson is on this list.
Barry Switzer.
A lot of these are Barry Switzer made the list. The last one on the list. I've never heard of any of these people. Hank Stram. Never heard of him.
Who did he coach for?
This would be Miami. Played 2 years in Notre Dame. 1 season in Miami. And went to the Chiefs. 6 Hall of Famer defense dominated them. They won Super Bowl 4. Buck Shaw. Lou Saban.
Nick Saban?
Nick Saban's cousin.
Oh.
Bobby Ross. John Robinson. Greasy Neal. John McKay.
John McKay, I've heard of him.
16-year tenure at
names
USC.
We don't know, then how much success did they really have?
Touche.
Well, I mean, if they won Super Bowls in the NFL, I mean, Jimmy Johnson, Jim Lee Howell, Jim Harbaugh, Chuck Fairbanks, Potsy Clark, Pete Carroll, and Paul Brown.
So Paul Brown, we've heard of Paul Brown.
Wouldn't just gauge it based on Super Bowl wins. I mean,
having success. I mean, success in the NFL is defined by getting to the dance and winning it.
Nah, I can't say that because you have people who could have taken over something that another coach built and just retired.
And you have one winner out of like 30 teams a year. So, I mean, it's a measure of success, but I wouldn't just say just the successful coaches are the ones that won a Super Bowl. I mean, you can have, if they're getting to the playoffs every year.
Okay.
To me, that's still success.
But success in the NFL is defined by Super Bowl appearances and wins. That's how Tom Brady's success is measured.
I don't think Eli's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, he without a doubt is the Hall of Famer because of his Super Bowl wins and his defeat of the undefeated Patriots. I hate you, Eli Manning. But he's a Hall of Famer.
We'll see.
But success in college is different because you have way more teams.
Yeah, but Eli was great at Ole Miss.
Yeah, I know. But I'm just saying in the NFL, it's measured by Super Bowls. That's why Tom Brady's a Hall of Famer. I mean, he's appeared in 10 of them, won 7 of them, 6 of them. It's a Hall of Famer.
One doesn't.
Tom Brady's an outlier.
Yeah. Not to mention all the records he holds. So
yeah, well, that's just that ultimately
Super Bowl wins matter.
His stats could be trash, but if he won 7 Super Bowls, he's a Hall of Famer.
Dan Marino was great, but he never won a Super Bowl.
Tony Romo.
It's Tony Romo. I call Tony Romo one of the greatest regular season quarterbacks, and I leave it there for a reason.
Still success,
but it's not the ultimate
also don't
success.
have to have a Super Bowl ring to get in the Hall of Fame.
Okay, that's one person. How many?
Dan Marino.
One. That's because
Jim Kelly.
That's one.
Lots of players that don't.
Phil Simms
that are in the Hall of Fame that don't have a Super Bowl ring.
You can ask anybody except you two.
I'll put that out on the Twitter poll.
Yeah, it's
because, by the way, I put the Twitter poll out there about the Christmas tree cakes, and it was 100% in favor of the Christmas tree cakes.
How many people voted?
I can be wrong.
It was one, and it was me. But I will say that I also put one up for McCaffrey over under 1,600 rushing yards, and it was split. It wasn't one vote, but it was split evenly, 50-50.
Over under on Christian McCaffrey getting 1,600 rushing yards this year?
Yeah.
Not happening. T-bet. There's your T-bet. Not happening. I will bet the T on that one. You said that? Okay. Not happening. Yeah, look at him. Look at thumbs over there.
So will you do the same thing with Eckler?
No, he ain't gonna sniff 1,600 yards.
He won't sniff 1,000.
That's a tough sell for me. But anyway, what's going on? What else is going on in the NFL? We were talking.
Well, the Panthers traded McCaffrey and then beat the brakes off of Tampa Bay. So Tom.
Oh my God,
Tampa Bay.
Mm.
Oh, Tom Broken Heart Brady.
I think the whole Giselle thing has probably a stronghold on him, man.
Of course. I mean, it's been his wife for how many years? His kids are. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for the guy, you know. But as she said, hey, granted, I don't think this is the end. I think this is the nail in the coffin. I feel like I'm sure that they were already having issues to begin with. And whenever he came out of retirement, did he really come out of retirement at his retirement party?
I don't know.
That's what I heard.
Circumstances, but I will tell you, I think he came out of retirement against her wishes.
I heard at his retirement party.
What's that saying? With a woman scorned?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, there's a saying, something like that. But anyway, I think that kind of rubbed her wrong. It's a famous idiom.
Yeah. Fury, something with fury.
It's true. That's gonna bother me. What is a quote?
Woman's wrath.
Heaven has no rage like love to hatred turn, nor hell of fury like a woman.
Yeah, hell of fury like a.
That's fact, man. The woman's pissed off. It ain't gonna be good. And I think that's what happened ultimately when he came out of retirement. I think that contributed to it.
Yeah.
Well, he just wanted to play football, man. That's what I think. I think, if you only like Tom, you got people don't realize Tom Brady's what 45, 46, 44. Okay, so over half his life, all he's known is NFL football at the NFL level. Right?
Oh yeah,
that's not even going back into his college days and high school days. So just in the NFL, so his whole adulthood has been the NFL. That's all he knows. Wanted to play football. Got, like you said earlier, he didn't need it to make money. He's got that $400 million.
He is 45.
Wow. Still
TB 45.
That goes up every year.
I mean, I think you always want to go out on a high note, but I think, and I don't think there's much that Tom can still accomplish that he hasn't already done. But when you're still playing at peak level, just stat wise at least, I mean, it'd be hard to just be like, oh, I'm just gonna in my career now. I mean, not that there's anything for him to prove. I just think if he still thinks he's got it.
How many games in are we? 7?
Yes.
Okay. So we'll say almost halfway through. Not quite. But he's on pace to throw for over 4,000 yards. He's on pace to throw for 2 picks in the whole season. I mean, a touchdown to interception ratio like he does is insane.
And they're still sucking.
So I'll make this McCaffrey bet with you. So I won't say
16.
My God, I won't say 1,600 yards. Nah, yeah, I won't say 1,600 yards. But so their bye week is next week. So that leaves how many games? So
well, next week's week 8. So there's halfway through. Well, no, not quite halfway through.
So there's 10 games left, I believe.
Oh yeah, that's right. They extended the year.
I'll say from as his time, like with the 49ers, he'll rush for over 1,000.
Say that again.
So there's 10 games left.
Okay.
He's saying with his time with he's saying McCaffrey's time with the 49ers, he'll have 1,000 yards
with 1,000 rushing yards just as a 49er
or more. That includes a bye week.
That might be one I would take.
I'm willing to do that.
Because he would still finish the season at around
1,400,
1,500.
So he was at 393 when he left Carolina, and then he got 38 this week. So he's at 430.
Yeah. While we think on that, just like take a moment to thank our sponsors. Thank you to Day Soul Coffee Lab, which, hey, I used their coffee to make some good chili tonight. It's really good.
It was good. Appreciate you bringing me some.
Yeah, man. I've been wanting to make some for a while, and we were trying to figure out what to make for supper tonight, and I said, hey, how about we make some of my chili? And he's like, yeah, that's good. So we made some chili, used the coffee with it. It was good. I love cooking with coffee. I love drinking coffee. Some of the best coffee, I believe, that's out there. Roasted straight out of Birmingham, Alabama. You can order it. daysoulcoffeelab.co. Use the promo code LOWDOWN for 20% off. And be sure to subscribe and get it monthly. It's good. Good stuff. What you drinking on?
I am drinking the 8th day of Halloween tea from Revolution Nutrition, the Ursula, named after the villain from Little Mermaid.
Yep.
So I'm 8 for 8. I got 2 more days left to get my 10 stamps, so I can get my
2 more days. It's 6 more days in the month.
Yeah, but they only do 10 days of Halloween.
It says through Halloween by the end of the month.
Right. If you get all 10
by the end of the month.
End of the month, but they started it last Monday, and so like the last day. I mean, like they're doing it throughout the month. You have like 15 days to try all 10. I'm just gonna complete it early.
Oh, overachiever.
So
already had the
10
Chucky.
for 10. It's 10 days. Like the 10th day will be Thursday, but then you have Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday that you can.
I think I've had 5 or 6 out of the list. Their teas are phenomenal. Sean and Victor got it. They're killing it, man. Happy 2-year birthday.
Yeah,
Revolution.
Yeah, happy 2-year birthday to them. If you're local, head on over to Revolution Nutrition in Camden,
If you're not,
South Carolina. If you're not, take a trip, guys. Take a trip right on over to Revolution Nutrition in Camden, South Carolina.
Tell them the cool kids at the Lowdown Popcast sent you.
Yeah,
that's right. Enjoy that 10% off. Except on Tuesdays. It's 2T Tuesday. I went there today. Hey, Jess, you're getting one off one of these lists is what I told her when we walked in because she's the pickiest one. She's like, well, I like something sweet. I said, oh. All right. Well, you're getting this one. Grape. It was powerful. Hi. Hey, Jess, how was it? Oh, it is what it is.
Mediocre at best.
Mediocre at best. So
adequate.
I started watching The Watcher.
I was waiting. Hold on.
Hang on. Wait. Before I forget, because I was alluding to this point earlier, talking about you guys. I was giving you guys kudos for turning me on to episodic TV shows. I started The Watcher on Netflix. Have you seen that one? Have you seen like the ad for it or like the?
I've heard about it. I haven't seen it.
It's amazing. Did you watch it yet?
No, it's the next one on my list to watch because I saw the trailer the other day and I was like, that looks like it would be really good.
It was,
and I've heard good things.
It's very entertaining. So I'm happy to say after this podcast, I'm probably going to turn on episode 2 right here in the Stranger Things room.
Yeah,
because it's something I could easily binge watch. I'd have to be very careful. Different. I don't want to ruin anything because neither one of you seen it, but it's definitely worth your time.
I'm on episode 8 of season 3 of Umbrella Academy.
What's that one?
It's the superhero one.
Is that the one, the violent one? The one you're seeing?
That's The Boys.
No, that's The Boys. That one's still the one I think you need to watch.
That's Netflix?
Amazon Prime.
Amazon Prime is The Boys. Umbrella Academy is Netflix.
I watched the first season. I haven't watched season 2.
So is that Amazon? Is that Prime Video?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that a separate app?
Yep.
Okay.
But
downloading now.
You probably have it. You can probably watch it.
Well, I got Amazon Prime, so
then you can watch it.
Yeah.
I gotta install it.
Umbrella Academy is on Netflix. They've had 3 seasons so far. I'm on episode 8 of the 3rd season. Episode 8 or episode 9 of the 3rd season. And it's been pretty good. It's about basically a guy gets these kids and raises them and helps hone their. Think of Professor X, kind of.
I'll say like X-Men.
Yeah, very similar to X-Men, but the guy is a whole lot more deranged than Professor X was. and just kind of go from there.
I'm just excited now because Shane's schedule. So for those who don't know, Shane is an IMDb / Rotten Tomatoes guy, but the fan side of it, not the critic side of it. So I judge everything I watch if I'm going to enjoy it by the fans' vote because normally I align with them. So my IMDb rating is like, what did I say, 6 or 6.5?
6.
If it hits 6 on IMDb, it's gonna be I'm gonna be able to enjoy it. So The Boys is a 8.7. So that's gonna be,
Umbrella Academy 7.9.
I would enjoy it.
So I think overall The Boys is a fantastic show, but what got me is from the first episode it's good. It's not like it takes time to get going. I mean, like right off the bat, it's intriguing and something different than what you've seen before when it comes to superheroes.
Well, I'm excited.
Yeah. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed. I've liked both of them. Umbrella Academy is kind of like just reminds me of something that maybe Marvel would shoot, and The Boys remind me of something that DC would shoot as far as the darkness of it. Other than that, though,
I got an interesting breaking news alert. Warner Brothers reportedly wants a long-term deal with All Elite Wrestling.
I saw that today.
Says they
no, that's not what I saw.
Says they have immediate plans to promote them as a sport.
HBO Max deal.
That is huge. Wow. Says they want to push AEW into the sports category, not the entertainment category, increasing that because of the new ownership, because Warner Brothers is now Warner Brothers Discovery. This person says, everything I hear of what's going on, even with TNT, it's going to be turning to a more sports-centric network. They are putting now putting the resources behind these promo announcements to increase ratings. Whether or not they're tasteful in regards to the violence and blood, there's a method to the madness.
Yeah, the thing I read earlier, I think maybe what Elliot was referring to is it was just reported that they couldn't get into it much, but that the Warner Brothers executives had a lot of faith behind the AEW product right now, and want to lock down a long term.
So one thing, AEW is what, 3 years old?
Yep.
Man, people like, they harp on them for like their viewers or whatever. Man, like, I'm sorry, but if you're pulling in, let's say a million viewers on television today, to me, you're a success, man. Because like, we live in a different world than 1996, 98, where everybody was in the house, and with so many things going on today. I mean, I think attracting 1 million viewers at a live, on a live television broadcast is a huge win, no matter what the show.
Yeah, anytime you can get 1 million viewers, I mean that speaks a lot. Man, got speaking of All Elite Wrestling, got an interesting card coming up, right? Looks.
Waiting to see if Shane's going to take this McCaffrey bit. He seems to be trying to find a back way out of it. He was all for it whenever we were talking in the chat.
Well, is this weekend the one with MJF? No, tonight's MJF and Moxley.
No. MJF and Moxley's going to be at
Full Gear.
Full Gear.
Something with MJF was happening this week.
You just said you were going to hear from him.
Oh.
So this week, what we have is
Oh, it's Moxley and Penta.
Yeah.
That's right. Oh, that'll be fun.
Yeah. AEW World Trios Champion Penta El Cerro Miedo versus AEW World Champion Jon Moxley for the AEW World Championship. I know it's not going to happen, but man, what if Penta won? Man, that's one of the guys who, in my opinion, is highly underused. But
I think the whole Lucha Brothers underused.
Oh yeah,
Report came out about that too.
Yep. You got Chris Jericho and Daniel Garcia versus.
But when you got the Young Bucks throwing their stroke around for the last 3 years, it's kind of easy to be underused.
Speaking of which, you saw them change their Twitter background.
I did.
So, they're not going anywhere. I don't think.
I don't think anybody's going anywhere.
Punk's gone,
other than Ace Steel
and Punk.
I'm not sold.
You kick out Steel. You Punk's gone. That's.
I do.
What's your opinion on that, Elliot?
What?
You think CM Punk stays? You think CM Punk's gone?
I mean, based on everything I'm reading, AEW silently trying to buy his contract out. So,
but let's be honest, we all heard that a long time ago. That came out pretty early in the whole.
And it hasn't happened yet, which is what makes me think he's not going anywhere.
Do you know how much money we're talking, though?
And Elliot just said silently. I don't know how much silently. Everybody seems to be reporting it, but it just seems like that's all they're reporting.
I want to know how much money this is.
I'm of the mindset that, you stay silent about something long enough, people forget about it, and then people just show back up on TV one day, and it's like, oh yeah, they're back. Hey, whatever happened with such and such? I don't know. It don't matter. I could, with it being Tony Khan, I could see him just saying, hey guys, you aren't coming back for 6 months to a year.
Well, let's not forget Punk's out for a year anyway.
Yeah.
Or 9 months.
And that's the other thing. I think it's one of those things. Tony's like, "Hey, I'm gonna pay all your medical bills and do this, that, and the other. Let's just keep our heads cool." And hey, how about think about dropping the lawsuit? Since I'm paying all your medical bills and stuff for you.
Well, he'd have to do that anyway. That's part of that. That's part of that AEW. The contracts with them, they have almost like a universal health care in AEW.
So I'm under the mindset, like I said, that he'll be back in AEW. I don't think he's gone, and I have
Impact. He's going to Impact.
99.99% chance that he will not go to WWE.
I would bet a T that he goes to WWE before he goes to AEW.
I mean, I'll take that.
I would just knowing how Punk is of the mindset and let's revengeful, egomaniac. I mean, whatever adjective.
But he's not that guy anymore, according to what he said. But his first episode of Dynamite.
Okay.
I still believe he's that guy, but okay, well, let's go down that route. You think he's revengeful over AEW? AEW hasn't done anything to him. It's all been the Bucks. So if they bring the Bucks back, I see him sticking around just to be like, F you, I'm here.
No, he's definitely not going to do that.
I could see that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to
talk, I'm here and I'm in the main event. I'm the face that's on the promotional material.
Yeah. Well, I guarantee,
Mister, I don't have an EVP position anymore.
Who, Punk?
No,
or no, who?
The Bucks.
That we know. We don't know what we don't. None of us know anything. It's all speculative. But if
I was revengeful, that would be my way to go. I'd be
no,
like, well, I'm gonna stick around just because I don't think it's Tony's not the problem.
No, but if Tony chose. Let's preface that.
But that's what I'm saying.
Tony loves Punk, right?
Choice, if they're EVPs, I mean, yes, you could let them go, but I don't know if Tony necessarily had it. I don't think he had a choice in the matter of being like, oh, I'm choosing between the Bucks or Punk. I mean, there's a world where they both can still coexist.
There is no bigger form of revenge that Punk can get It's showing up on WWE TV.
But that's
sorry.
but that's what I'm saying. That would be that. I agree. But that would be if his problem was with AEW as a whole, and I don't think that's his problem.
But we don't know.
His problem is with Kenny
I
and
think
the
the
Bucks.
Bucks end up on WWE before Punk.
I'd be willing to go that route too.
That'd be tough. I mean, it's interesting too, but I don't know.
And then Punk would go to WWE, just stick to the Bucks.
I mean, there's a lot. Punk's creative. He's all about story. He's all about relevance. And he's all about money. That's what Punk's about.
I don't think he'd be as relevant in WWE. I don't
know. It's just Punk's return to Chicago and AEW was monumental. After how many years out of the business?
Yeah, but that's why it was monumental. It was monumental because it was 9 years out of the business.
Okay.
He's buried WWE on live television.
Okay. So is everybody else under the sun.
No, they haven't.
Punk returning to the place he left, so bitter, so sick, as he gave in his promo 9 years ago, however long ago, showing up on their program would completely Little League AEW's return.
I don't see it happening.
I know you don't see it happen. I'm just saying it would be bigger.
What if Punk leaves AEW and signs with Ring of Honor?
Oh, God. See, that's that WWE rating
to be their first ever.
That's what
I'm just saying.
about.
Like, there's ways around it. I don't think his problem's not with AEW as a company. His problem was just with the Bucks and Kenny.
What if
and Hangman and
it's the Elite?
Okay, well the Elite aren't going anywhere. So,
well, that's why I said
Punk's not going to succumb himself to that kind of atmosphere.
Went to Ring of Honor.
No.
I mean, but hold on. One show a week. It's not like he's on the road 7 days a week with AEW and he's miserable every day that he's there. I mean, he was having a good time until he wasn't.
I mean, he kept talking about like Scott Colton and or what's his name?
No. Well, that's because the guy asked the question during the this media scrum.
By the way, Tony Khan said he's going to still do those, which I found that interesting.
I mean, he asked the question about Colt Cabana during the media scrum, and I completely agree with Punk. Man, why are you asking about that guy during a media scrum after a world championship match?
I agree.
And the thing that, I mean, it come out that Colt had signed with Ring of Honor. Like he had everybody was like saying that Punk was trying to like push him out and stuff like that. But before, when
I don't believe that.
When I don't either. I think they were. I mean, he was there. I mean, Colt was there when Punk came in. So I think like Punk said, like we're just we just don't talk. Like we don't speak to each other. We have nothing to do with each other. But it had already come out that Colt had signed with Ring of Honor, I believe. He was going to be an active member on the Ring of Honor roster, so he was definitely still sticking around. It wasn't like we're not going to renew his contract. We don't have anything for him. We're going to let him go. And that's how the conversation started. People were saying that like Punk was trying to backdoor not getting Colt a job, and Punk was like, I could care less. Like I'm here. Like I'm here to be me. Like I don't have anything to do with the guy.
Well, speaking of Ring of Honor, you got on Dynamite you have Ring of Jericho champion Chris Jericho and the Ring of Honor Pure champion Daniel Garcia versus former Ring of Honor champion Claudio Castagnoli and former Ring of Honor Pure champion Wheeler Yuta of the Blackpool Combat Club. You also have Ring of Honor champions 7-Star, and they're also the New Japan Tag Team Champions and a AAA.
Yep.
AAA Tag Team Champions 7-Star FTR versus Swerve and Our Glory for a number 1 contenders match. You also have Rio versus Jamie Hayter, Bryan Danielson versus Sammy Guevara, and we'll hear from MJF. And
so who do you think was the FTR Swerve match? Because obviously, the way they're playing it out, whoever wins that is going to face the Acclaimed at Full Gear for the tag titles.
You think?
I think so. It's only. It's only like 2 weeks away. Okay, 2.5 weeks away.
I was reading that as a number 1 contenders match for the Ring of Honor Championship, so I read that wrong.
Yeah, no, whoever wins is going to take on the Acclaimed.
I think Swerve and Our Glory wins to keep up that beef. I think they win underhandedly. I think Swerve cheats.
I could say so. I see a pathway for each to happen. I could see Swerve being the one to kind of cheat and get there, and it be part 3, so to speak, of the Acclaimed and Swerve. Because they won the first one, then they had the Acclaimed go over in the second match, so it would kind of be like the tiebreaker. But I don't know. I just there's a lot of things going on with FTR too. I could just kind of see them.
Well, you could also have FTR,
or it being a triple threat.
You could also have FTR go over, or triple threat. You have FTR go over though, and then you have that breakup between Swerve and
that's how they're going.
Keith Lee.
They're going to use it to set up Swerve versus Keith Lee at the pay-per-view.
Think so?
Mm-hmm. That's my gut. That's how I would book it.
And then Acclaim gets that win over FTR to solidify them as champs.
Hey man, I'm not that bad of a booker, man. I got kind of a creative mindset, but that's really what I would do. I would like to see Swerve versus Keith Lee. It'd be entertaining.
I would like to see the
contrast
match.
for sure.
I mean, yeah. Well, and it's obvious on that team you have a heel and a face.
Natural heel.
Yeah, natural heel.
So good. I think I see FTR picking up the win, and then Swerve and Keith Lee start bickering, and then FTR just, hands up, just rolls out and leaves, watching them implode in the ring. That's the image I can see. And then something happens.
Yeah. I think if they go that route, I think you still have the Acclaim win at Full Gear.
Just to solidify themselves, man.
To solidify themselves.
They're hot right now.
The question is, does AEW make one of them be heels that night? That's the question. I would try not to.
You got to have a reason to want one to win over the other. But
so I
always like the face thing if done right.
So I think they both go in the matches as faces. If it's FTR, I think
it's like the Hogan Rock thing.
If I was a booker, or what makes the most sense based on things that we've already talked about, have both teams go in as face. I don't think FTR loses clean. You could have the Young Bucks come in and cost FTR the match. Acclaim still win, and then that sets up the Bucks FTR, which is what a lot of the controversy has been, because they just said that the Bucks have always just put themselves over FTR.
Screw it. I want to see the Briscoe brothers come in and just screw FTR.
Or that too.
Yeah, they're part of Ring of Honor.
Exactly.
And the Ring of Honor pay-per-view is in December.
That makes sense too.
Bingo. That's how I'd do it right there. Let's have the Briscoes screw up.
Because I don't think FTR losing clean to the Acclaimed is the right way to go.
I agree.
It does definitely helps the Acclaimed, but I don't know. You don't want to throw water on the fire of FTR either, and I think it would hurt FTR more than it would help the Acclaimed.
I think a legit somebody screwing them would be the most sense.
So right here, you heard it first on the lowdown. An hour 38 minutes in. Hour 38 minutes and 40 seconds. The lowdown for Full Gear is Swerve and Our Glory will break up this coming week and face each other. You have FTR will face the Acclaim. FTR will lose, but lose dirty because of an interference by the Briscoes that will lead to them facing each other in the Ring of Honor pay-per-view in December. That's the lowdown, Mark.
That sets up everything, but the interference could also happen on Dynamite.
For sure.
And help Swerve and them get the match too. It still sets up the match. It doesn't set up Swerve and Keith as much.
And it's all about timing, because we've heard the reports that the reason that they weren't on AEW TV, that's why they got the Ring of Honor deal, but it was because Warner Media didn't want one of the Briscoes, whoever said something in the past 10, 12 years ago or whatever, they didn't want them on TV. So it was all about timing.
But they also just announced James Gunn as head of creative for DC. So we'll see.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well, Where's
What's Jungle Boy doing? Is he working that program with Lucha? Is that what is he doing?
Yeah, that's what he's been doing. He's quote unquote. I think he faced Lucha 2 weeks ago on Dynamite or Rampage, and Lucha ran through him.
So I'll just be honest. Because of my work schedule, I haven't really got the last 2 or 3 weeks. I haven't really got a chance to watch a lot of AEW live, so I've had to watch it recorded. So I couldn't tell you what happened on what week of Dynamite, but yes, he definitely fought Luchasaurus recently within the last 2 weeks because I went back and watched all of it. But
who the frig is Hoslow?
Who?
I'm reading this stupid thing. This guy's like, "These are my guests for the Full Gear card." You know, John Moxley versus MJF, Tony Storm versus Jamie Hayter, the Acclaimed versus FTR, Wardlow versus Hoslow. Who the F is Hoslow? Jade Cargill versus Nyla Rose, Orange Cassidy versus Jungle Boy versus Luchasaurus, Brian Cage and the Gates Agony or Trustbusters versus Pac, Phoenix, and Pentagon, Hook versus Jabroni Jones or Parker Boudreaux. Who the frick? Googling.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know who Hoslow is either.
You know who we had? Who I say that?
Not even
Like
a
I
real
said, I
person,
haven't.
probably.
Has Sting been on TV lately on Dynamite or Rampage? I haven't
No.
seen much about him.
No, I haven't seen him. Has he been injured? Did he get hurt?
Probably got COVID.
No. He did get hurt. He got hurt.
Last time I remember getting hurt was when he got super kicked by Young Bucks in the shoulder.
I would have been hurt too after watching it back.
I thought he got hurt a couple weeks. I thought he got hurt.
I thought the last time I've seen him was when when Malachi was there. I think that's the last.
No, I thought that's where he got hurt.
I thought he did something with Muda in that match. He was
following.
yeah.
Match. Yeah, Muda came out. That's the last time I think. I mean, that's still.
But I thought he got hurt in that match though.
I don't think so.
He finished, but I thought he got hurt.
October 3rd. So 3 weeks ago, he said my days are numbered.
Oh, Sting.
Mm. So something happened. Something happened at some point. But he's 63.
He said that on what? Where did he say that?
In an interview.
Well, that could mean a lot of things.
He said my days are numbered in AEW.
Well, I mean, I feel like we've seen Darby a couple times. And Sting hasn't been there, which has kind of been weird, but you know, if he's hurt or something. Seaborn says, I know my days are numbered, so I'm trying to make the most out of my time left, and give the fans everything I have before the wave comes into shore for good. I'm grateful that Muda was able to be here with me in the United States. It's a memory I'm going to hold on to, and it signifies the end of our era. I'm looking forward to having one last grand hurrah with a great Muda, especially in Japan. So I wonder if that ends up being his.
It would be fitting.
Yeah,
it would be fitting.
They go out together.
No way. His last match will not be in Japan. He'll have it in AEW. There's a reason he's there. It's not going to be overseas.
It's definitely going to be in Japan. There's going to be a match.
No, the match. Yeah, not Sting's last match.
He gets all defensive about saying, not my Sting. I think his last match, I think it'd be in the States, but the match with Muda would be in Japan. That's what I'm saying.
If AEW was smart, they would play it out like the
Muda got a nice reaction.
Like the way Flair's original retirement against Shawn played out years ago, where he went on this whole retirement
sorry, I love
thing.
you.
Yeah, I mean, just like a lead up to the retirement, not just like, oh, this is Muda's last match, but I'm retiring too. You know,
I love that Flair had his last match.
In a company that I don't even wrestle for.
I love that Flair had his last match, and he says he's still not done.
Flair's had his last match multiple times.
I know. True. He's going to keep on going.
Oh, come on.
So
has anyone heard the Ric Flair commercial?
What? Oh, the drip commercials?
Huh?
The drip commercials?
No.
Which one?
It's commercials.
Not the drip commercials. I hear this on the radio all the time.
He's off, man. Well, tell us about it. Don't play it. It sounds funny.
It's a male enhancement.
Can you just tell us a quote from the commercial?
He's talking about you. You can go all night long like the nature boy. That jet flying, limousine ride.
Oh my God, Ric Flair.
I mean, he's definitely living his best life.
And he's making a lot of money.
Listen, every time I hear it, I think, oldest ride, longest line. Woo!
God bless him.
Like, I think, so I read it on my phone, just like different,
Oh,
topics.
He's selling Viagra called Mount Everest.
Mount Everest, that's it.
Ric Flair says this ain't your grandfather's pill. Check out this 3-in-1 formulated product from New Image Medical called Mount Everest. Woo! Use code FLAIR20 for 20% off. He says this ain't your grandfather's boner pill.
What? Oh my gosh.
And then he's on Instagram smoking with Mike Tyson.
This is great.
Drip.
Oh, man. Here for a good time, not a long time.
So, in other wrestling news, on Raw, we saw Nikki Cross and Nikki ASH.
Thank God.
Nikki Cross return, tapped Bayley and Bianca Belair in their match together. You also had Finn Balor defeat Carl Anderson, thanks to a low blow from Daddy Rhea Ripley. She's everybody's daddy.
Yeah.
Yet R-Truth defeat The Miz.
Miz has got to be hurt, right?
Huh?
Is Miz hurt?
I think he got hurt this week or something.
Yeah, something's weird there.
I believe.
Well, yeah, he's been doing the Dexter Loomis thing. Feuding with Dexter.
Yeah. It hasn't been too physical, though, other than that one in the ring with Maurice, right? It's the only time they really got physical.
Yeah, so the whole thing right now is Johnny Gargano or Gargano, however you say his name, is threatening to, quote unquote, blow the whistle on the truth about why The Miz, and he's told The Miz, if you'll just tell everyone the truth, Dexter will stop messing with you. He's like, I know the truth. And if you don't tell him next week, I'm going to blow the whistle on it. Type of thing. I don't know what it's about.
Where are they going with it?
I don't know.
Prediction?
Huh?
Prediction.
I don't have one.
They related? This is his brother. Oh.
So I will say I did not watch Raw, but I read a lot of stuff after Raw, and they
crapped on it, man.
Yeah, it was.
It was
a horrible show, and they were saying it's 3 hours of nothing but mid-card workers because all the stars are on SmackDown, and they have. I mean, like, they're either hurt or on SmackDown, and they were like, this is the show. It's super. It's already super long, and you have nobody of like name value. That's really
you had Omos.
Yeah, Seth Rollins, but he didn't work last night.
Omos. What?
Elias is back, but I'll tell you the issue. The issue was Charlotte, North Carolina. I'm serious, dude. I have yet to see a Raw SmackDown where Charlotte, North Carolina has a fire crowd.
It's because it's an AEW crowd.
We joke, but the AEW shows in Charlotte
been to the Charlotte, North Carolina shows. We've been at the Bo Plex.
We don't talk about Battle of the Belts. Okay. But everything else has been.
That wasn't the crowd's fault. That was a
poor show.
And they changed it because when we went, we went for was Battle of the Belts. Now they record Battle of the Belts and Rampage at the same time. We went and it was literally like 4 matches. I mean, they didn't even do like normal pre-show, dark show.
It's because man, like it, hate it, say what you want. Tony Khan appreciates the nostalgic areas. Tony Khan appreciates those places like Georgia and North Carolina, and where wrestling was pristine and so heralded.
Well, he brings that.
Where's WWE care about? Saudi Arabia, L.A., New York City,
Philly,
and I dare say it, AEW's becoming quickly one of AEW's areas too. That Pennsylvania area, but
I mean New York. I mean they've had killer matches.
Dude, Arthur Ashe. Phenomenal. So I don't know. You think SmackDown's definitely the A show?
Oh, for sure.
And it's been migrating that way. I mean, it's been that way, I think, for a couple of years now.
Last week's Raw was decent, but They had Bobby Lashley and Brock Lesnar open up the show.
So I think if you're with it, because WWE's still doing the brand split for the most part, and so I think that's where you at that point you have to have people on SmackDown, people on Raw, and I think there's just an issue waiting to happen with the talent that's where, because obviously SmackDown is going to be the A show. They're making more money off Fox than they are off USA. But if you got rid of the brand split,
not too long.
If you got rid of the brand split and had people that could show up on either thing, you could still have Roman be like mainly on SmackDown, but then it wouldn't be a problem if somebody from like a major star showed up on Raw. But now it's like when they show up, people are talking about like, oh, well, they're supposed to be on SmackDown. They're not involved in the storylines on Raw.
This makes sense. So that, I mean, you got that because we're not too long away from contract renewal between WWE and Fox. So they're loaded up, man. They're catering to them because they want to earn that deal. But I mean that was 2018. It was a 5-year deal. It's coming up really quick.
So if I was thinking about this the other week when we were talking about AEW and the rumors about HBO Max, as a company, take out what we know. Would you rather have your product on Peacock or HBO Max? I don't like if you didn't subscribe to either one, which one would you? I mean, not just for wrestling, but like just in general. Like I have both, and I can tell you by far there's 20 times more things that I would watch on HBO Max than I would ever. Like I go to Peacock for WWE stuff, and then like maybe every once in a while, like I watch the Beast on Peacock because that's what it was on. But like I just happened to go there and see that it was on there. I don't go to Peacock to watch anything.
On the trial run of HBO Max, I watched a ton of stuff on HBO Max. I have Peacock, and I'll watch it if I find like Beast. I found out Beast was on there. I wanted to see that movie, so I watched it.
Like I don't ever pull up Peacock unless there's a reason for me to go to Peacock and pull it up. But I can pull up HBO Max and be like, oh, I wonder what they got added, or like
WWE pay-per-views and that WWE pay-per-views and the movie I just recently watched. WWE pay-per-views honestly is the only reason I have Peacock.
PLEs, premium live events.
Those shows is the only reason I have Peacock.
I agree. That's what I think it's if AEW lands the deal with HBO Max, I think that's a huge deal for them and their reach.
If they do that and they say, hey, any subscriber with HBO Max gets pay-per-views for free, done deal.
Yeah, I think that would end up being more on an HBO's decision, not theirs, because I think depending on how much the deal would be worth, because I think AEW lose a ton of money if they go to releasing the pay-per-views on HBO Max as opposed to having to pay $50-$60 for it.
But at the same time, if you're still only doing 4 or 6 a year, but you're getting paid for the content $20 a month.
I was going to say, but I also think that, I mean, you have diehard fans that are going to pay $50-$60 to watch the pay-per-view event. So how many people don't watch AEW's pay-per-views because they cost and because they are included with Peacock and stuff now, and they're just and everything's streaming that there's not a lot of people that don't watch the pay-per-views, but if they were on HBO Max and they were included in your subscription, I think it would open up a way to get more viewers.
Here's what I would like to see happen, if it could happen some way. I'd like to see HBO Max have Dynamite, Rampage, and all the other AEW shows, whether it's Dark Elevation, Ring of Honor stuff, whatever. Have those, have them live when they're happening, so you can watch them live, and have them and have their pay-per-views.
An on-demand library too.
Yep. I'd love to see that.
Well, let's just say WWE Network in the States standalone I thought it was amazing.
It was great. It was.
I absolutely loved it.
Peacock bought it, and it sucks.
In the States, Peacock got them, but I don't know. There's a lot of money being thrown around for some sort of eye-catchy content. WWE got $200 million a year for SmackDown. $1 billion deal. They got paid how much for the sale of WWE Network to Peacock? Wasn't $1 billion? It was like $1 billion. AEW needs to use this as a leverage. They need to look at, see what WWE. I mean, WWE's getting $200 million a year. They're getting what, $40 million a year.
That's why I think that's
what
why
can AEW do with $100 million a year?
Yeah, that's why I brought up the conversation, because I was thinking about the HBO Max thing. I mean, it makes sense because they're with Warner already, but take the fact that they're already under Warner's umbrella. I don't know. So, like, obviously Peacock's taken because you got WWE there. But, like, outside of maybe Netflix, there's not another streaming platform that I think has the subscribers and the reach that HBO Max has. I mean, you have Peacock, I think, is lower than HBO Max. You have,
would you put Hulu Live and YouTube in there, TV?
I wouldn't put YouTube in there because it's just cable. Hulu maybe, but Hulu's owned by Disney. I mean, Disney owns the rights,
and Hulu Live is just cable.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So I did think at one time that AEW would entertain, or Fox would entertain AEW. At least talking to them to kind of see. Who
was CBS part of?
Paramount.
Paramount Plus is another.
But
I like Paramount Plus. I watch a lot of Wild 'N Out on there.
I love Wild 'N Out.
But again, I mean, I don't think, like, you compare Paramount Plus. I'd love to see just like a breakdown of subscribers. If it wasn't, I think HBO Max has way more subscribers than Paramount Plus.
So as everybody pulls out their phones.
Well, I'm just interested in this because time's coming up quick. So we always talk 2024. The 2024 is the year of AEW's TV rights deal, WWE's TV rights deal, MJF. I mean, you got talent deals. They're all coming up around the same time. And I don't think it's just coincidence. I don't know. I would just like to see what happens.
83% of the people in the U.S. use some type of streaming platform.
Netflix has to own a large market share of that.
In 2015, it was 52. So it's in 7 years, it's gone up 30%.
$225 million for Netflix. $205 million for Prime Video. Let's see. These are just subscription streaming services, so this is including music too.
Number one is Netflix.
Number one is Netflix, $225. Prime Video is number 2. Man, imagine. I love what Prime Video is doing with football, Thursday night football.
Hey, you always talk about that.
Fortunately, the games have sucked, but
so I like what they're doing with the broadcast. It annoys me just a little bit because I can catch any other game, like any other nationally televised game, because I subscribe to YouTube TV. So like all the other games come on Fox, CBS, NBC, ABC, except for Thursday night football. So like I just go to YouTube TV for everything, but on Thursdays, like I always go to YouTube TV first, and I'm like, what? The game's not showing the game because the game's only coming on Amazon Prime. So it's just another. I mean, it's
how much is Amazon paying for that, right?
So you have HBO.
Way more than what WWE or AEW is making off their contract.
Is that not crazy?
For one game a week.
So HBO Max is number 5.
But
they're behind Amazon. They're behind Netflix number 1, Amazon number 2, Spotify, which doesn't do video, Disney Plus.
I was gonna say.
So that, to me, that makes sense. I mean, they're the competition that they could sign with. I think HBO Max would still be the best option.
And there's alternatives. That's the crazy part. Like, regardless, I think stuff needs to go streaming. It's just who's gonna get involved in the streaming. Who's gonna get involved with it? Disney Plus, definitely. I see Disney Plus and WWE doing something.
Netflix made $29.698 billion in revenue in 2021.
Can you still get DVDs through the mail?
I think so.
There's a niche out there that are still doing that. There's got to be. But
I think when you go to start a new account, it doesn't like give you that option like as your initial like on the welcome screen options.
They're like, please God, no.
Go to it and still get. I think last time I checked, you could.
That's so awesome. I'm gonna order one. no way to play. Oh wait, I got my PS5. But I mean, so out of the top 5 streaming services, Netflix, Disney Plus, HBO Max, three of which I think would directly benefit from being involved in the pro wrestling business. So that's gonna be interesting.
Well, I'd be curious so I think on Netflix you had Lucha Underground or something was on there at one time. I'd be curious to see how they did, because that might have, if they didn't do that well, that might have
but
deterred
it also
Netflix away a little bit.
Yeah, it'd just take the right person going in and negotiating or talking.
CM Punk.
I definitely see if WWE goes streaming, it's Disney Plus. HBO Max goes streaming, it's AEW. I mean, that would be my guess. What you got, Elliot?
So right now, this is showing says as of July of 2022, state of streaming. You have at Netflix at 220 million, Amazon Prime at 200 million, Disney Plus 152 million, HBO and HBO Max at 92 million, Hulu at 46 million, Paramount Plus at 43 million, Peacock at 13 million.
And here's the thing too, like the advantage of streaming is you're not limited to stateside. You're getting worldwide without the need to go on all these to work out all these individual, TV negotiations with FS1 in Canada and Mexico and Europe or wherever they're going. So I think whoever lands the first big streaming deal, I don't consider Peacock a big streaming deal.
Not with 13 million subscribers.
I mean, you look at
I'm talking the big ones. One of the big 5. That company is poised to succeed for a long time.
So Peacock.
I didn't realize that HBO Max had the subscribers like that.
So Peacock owns Fox, or no,
NBC.
Disney owns Fox. They bought all this 20th Century Fox, but like Universal, NBC, Universal, Peacock, it all falls under the actual Fox channel and USA and stuff like that. Then you have Paramount owns CBS, and then Disney owns ABC, and then so NBC and Fox, like the Fox channel is kind of standalone, but from a WWE standpoint, it falls under NBC. So you have the 4 major local channels are Peacock, Paramount Plus, and Disney. But if you look at, I think where Netflix has a leg up, and then like HBO Max, Netflix has a leg up because most of the movies on there, they have just such a variety of movies, and they've been in the game the longest.
They're the OG.
Like with Peacock and Paramount, because it's like they're the retail, they're the companies that put together the movies and stuff like that. If you look at a list of like Warner Brothers movies, a list of like Universal movies, and a list of like Paramount movies, the movies that have made the most money at the box office and like have the biggest following and stuff are usually Warner Brothers movies. Like if you look at total box office, Warner Brothers or Disney. So like that's where, that same list, like Disney was second in subscribers, HBO was 3, but they're owned by Warner Brothers. So like then you start dropping down. If I'm new and I'm looking at what platform that I want to stream, if I do a trial with Peacock, there's not a whole lot of movies. They have movies on there that only are on their platform, but there's just not a whole lot of standouts where I'm like, oh, this is worth me paying every month to do.
I'm thinking too, isn't it Netflix that has that WWE interaction with The Undertaker and everything already on it?
Yeah.
And that movie, The Main Event?
That's WWE Studios.
So there's already a quote unquote working relationship there somewhere.
Chaperone.
Oh, the chaperone. Sorry. Got him.
Well, because you did it in the voice, and I still picture, I am the game.
I am the game.
But
I'm the chaperone.
Wasn't the Big Show?
Big Show.
Big Show. Well, yeah, but that didn't have anything to do with WWE.
But it was still on Netflix, right?
Paul White, yeah.
But he was with WWE at the time.
No, he was gone. He stepped away.
I'm pretty sure he was with WWE. I think it was WWE Studios that still did.
Yeah, I'm almost a T-bet on that one. I'm going to look up, how do you Google that one? The Big Show Show.
That's it? The Big Show Show?
It was actually very funny. I actually found it very, very funny. Now, Jonathan, we could be wrong.
Could be.
Let's not take bets here. It was produced by WWE Studios.
Oh, was it?
Yes. However, what made me nervous was former WWE wrestler The Big Show.
I saw that.
So I had to keep scrolling up. I'm like, oh crap. I thought that show was very entertaining. Only lasted one season, right? 9 episodes.
That was it.
Shame. He is actually a very funny person. I'm still waiting for the Captain Insano.
I think his knees are too shot.
No.
Yeah,
they're doing it. Haven't they already confirmed it? They patented it.
Confirmed it, but
I mean,
they could have patented it for the video game. Technically,
they patented. It's true.
What?
That would be cool.
Why are you laughing?
I just know because it makes sense, but that would be like, I mean, that would be legit. I was thinking like they probably just patented it. This is WWE wouldn't do it, but then you said video games. Like, oh, that makes more sense than him showing up on TV.
Okay, so knowing the niche and nostalgic of
I still can't
AEW's
get out
crowd.
of him, and it didn't come across well on live TV, but it was like had its own like one whole episode of the Cody Rhodes' like reality TV show, and was a like
Rose to the top.
Yeah, it was like about Big Show coming out there to do the segment with the scale. It didn't come across well on TV because it didn't go the way they wanted it to at all. I mean, Cody said he was in the ring and he was like, bro, this is like, he came out to the back and Brandon was like, that was a disaster. And he was like, yeah, it didn't go well because Big Show couldn't get the scale to work. And he's like sitting there trying to like, move it. And the scale was broken. The Big Show's like, and then Cody's like, just tell him this. They like whispering, just tell him that, like I'll weigh this or whatever. And Big Show's crouched over.
Him and Anthony a go-go.
A go-go. That's right. Oh, man.
I like Rose to the top.
It was good.
Granted,
I like Cody Rhodes.
I felt like it was something they tried to do to try and compete with Miz and Mrs.
That's how I felt when it came out, but it showed a lot more
backstage
stuff than what Miz and Mrs. shows.
Yeah. Well, that has also had a lot to do with his position in AEW at the time. So
Cody Rhodes has got to be near no return, right?
They said he was ahead of schedule.
Of course he is. We called that one when he got
Royal
hurt.
Rumble.
We call that. I think he comes back before the Rumble.
That's the American Nightmare. Part of the
tell that story.
Part of the
Did you tell that story?
I have not. I think we told Johnathan. No, we haven't shared it on the show though.
Oh, so like I don't know how it would go. So we were at some fair. We were.
I was gonna say, why don't you share it with me? I was the one that said it. I told you that.
Yeah, but
did I tell Elliot first?
You called Elliot,
and
but
then
I told him.
Oh yeah.
That's the only reason he knew. He just didn't give me credit for it.
No, I never give Johnathan credit for anything. That is funny. So like, I don't know. Johnathan sent this thing, and like I call Elliot. I'm like, hey Elliot,
because I walked up to Shane and I said, bro, I was like, did you see the latest rumor? I was so serious. I was like, did you see the latest rumors? And he was like, what? I was like, Cody Rhodes returning. He was like, yeah, I know. I was like, hold
on, stop right there because it'll go into our story.
Yeah. So what?
Shane says, "Hey, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Man, I'm at Universal." He's like, "Are you
sitting down?"
I'm like, "No." Are you standing up? Yes.
Well, first of all, if I'm not sitting down, what are you? On my head, or Anyway.
So that's what he says, and then he says, "Did you hear?" I'll let you.
I was like, "Did you hear?" And he's like, "What?" He's like, "I'm like, Cody Rhodes is going to return to be part of the Wyatt family or be part of the Wyatt Six."
I was like, "Really?"
Elliot was pondering it. He's crunching on for me. He's like,
really?
"Okay, this could be."
That's interesting.
I'm like, "Yeah, he's going to be the American Nightmare."
I was like, "Oh, you're so stupid."
click. I did it to another friend of mine too. Like after you, and he's like, Brian of all people, Brian. I'm like, dude, did you hear? He's like, oh my God, what? Tell me. And I got quiet. He's like, are you gonna say it? I'm like, oh yeah, Cody Rhodes. I'm like, Cody Rhodes is gonna be part of the Wyatt Six. And he's like, oh my God, dude, that's amazing. He's like, where'd you find that out? I'm like, doesn't matter where I found it out. I'm like, but he's gonna be the American Nightmare. He goes, my God, you're an idiot. Like Brian was so pissed.
Brian probably dropped a couple.
He was cussing. That's exactly what it sounded like. He's like, that is so stupid.
But it was the buy-in I got from Shane because I was so serious when I said it.
Bro,
I was like, did you see the latest
first of all,
rumors?
when Johnathan's serious, you he gets your attention.
Yeah.
She was like, no, what? I was like,
I'm salivating.
I was like, the rumors are when Cody Rhodes returns, he's going to be part of Bray's group. And she was like, what?
I was like,
what?
oh
and I was
my.
like, and then at that point, I cracked and started smiling. I was like, as the American Nightmare. And she was like, oh, you're so stupid.
Oh,
Well, so I hang up because I'm like so dumb. I hang up and Lisa's like, "Who was that?" I was like, "Shane." She's like, "What do you need?" I was like, "He's just being stupid."
just being Shane.
He's just being so dumb. And what'd he say? I said, he just asked me if I knew that Cody Rhodes was coming back to join Bray Wyatt and be part of the Wyatt Six. And I was like, no. She's like, okay. I was like, he's like, yeah, he's coming back as American Nightmare.
You know exactly that's what I did.
She's like, oh my gosh.
He's an idiot. Sorry.
And Asher's like, really? Is he really? I was like, no, son. No.
Your Uncle Shane's an idiot.
Yeah, he's a dummy. He's a dummy. That's all I got to say about that. Bray Wyatt, another passionate interview promo this past week.
I missed it.
Fill us in.
Apologized for what happened.
Being cut off.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Apologized some more. Went deeper into that.
I mean, he really got cut off on my feed. I didn't even see the mask show up.
This is true.
Here in Florence, watch Fox.
So it's interesting. So like the more this goes on, I'm getting more vibes of like all of us being correct. Like I think there's a multiple personality thing, but I also think it's a group of multiple people. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
I did call the phone number that was listed on the.
I told you.
And
let's talk about that.
I had my Bluetooth on in the car. I called the number and I had my Bluetooth cut up as loud as it would go, and I didn't even hear anything. It was like just sound like static. I couldn't make out anything. So when I got home, I cut it off and listened to it like on the actual, through my phone, and then I could kind of make out a little bit of what it was. And I was
so
like,
Shane, tell us where you got that.
I don't even. So I was just scrolling and I saw this picture come up. I didn't catch the episode by no means, but I saw the interview,
like a police report or something.
Yeah, it looked like a consultation from like a psychiatrist, like a psychiatrist visit. Name of patient, what he suffers from, and up at the top right it said client ID, and
Yeah.
it was 10
something?
digits. Is 855-633 and number. I'm like, what the heck? That's a phone number. So I called it. I'm like, you can't hear anything in my ear. So I had to put it on speakerphone and put it on and turn the volume all the way up. And all of a sudden, like you could hear, I don't know, it was the lyrics of a song.
Yeah.
But I couldn't remember the name of the song. And you found out what song it was. You sent it to me. I don't remember what song it was.
Nirvana.
It was a Kurt Cobain song or a Kurt Cobain cover. Somebody else sang it first. Cobain did the better version of it. But I thought that was interesting.
So everything I saw said it was by Nirvana.
Yeah, they did the famous version of it.
But it was. I can't
remember the name of the song.
The Man Who Sold the World.
Fitting. Just goes to show you that Bray Wyatt's all in here. This is definitely creative. It's different. David Bowie sang it first in 1970.
Okay. I saw a video of Seth Rollins today.
Okay.
Who was talking about how yeah. So
I love doing that.
Interesting take. So when the Fiend beat Seth Rollins,
Okay.
the Beast Slayer, that's when Seth Rollins made his turn.
So there's a chance here Seth is a part of this group?
Seth Rollins was saying that when he said first it was very difficult to work with the Fiend. He said it was very difficult because it was difficult to know what direction to go after that. Because with the Fiend, you wanted to make sure the Fiend didn't necessarily lose any of the luster. Exactly. So when he lost to Bray, that's when he had to no longer be the Beast Slayer, but had become, first it was Monday Night Messiah,
Horrible.
then the Savior of SmackDown, stuff like that. He said he had to transition to those personas because of him losing to the Fiend. He couldn't keep the same persona, otherwise it discredited how the Fiend changed people. He said, outside of Randy Orton beating him, everyone that the Fiend encountered changed. The Fiend,
Maybe the Fiend
sounds like Malachi Black to me in that whole gimmick in AEW with anybody that.
But it wasn't everybody. I mean, like Julia turned, but she was like the fourth person that had got the mist at that point. It was weird.
So the idea of the mist, though, was and this was from hearing Malachi in multiple interviews. The idea of the Black Mist was to reveal people's true selves. So, like with Julia Hart, what that shows is deep down inside, Julia Hart was actually who she is now. The reason it didn't work on Sting is because Sting's already his true self.
WWE wanted Malachi Black for the Wyatt Six faction.
I'm sure. I
think that's interesting. But I love how at the end, unfortunately for Black, Tony Khan has no intention of releasing anybody at this moment.
Well, apparently WWE wanted a lot of people because they tried to contact him about coming back.
Yeah. Adam Cole,
most
baby.
Most of them said no.
Yeah.
Any update on him yet?
What we say?
Adam Cole?
Man, it got quiet with him real quick. It must have been pretty badly hurt.
So he did post something recently.
He's still gaming.
Let's see what he said.
You've been more watching like the WWE product consistently than both of us. So they're saying Liv Morgan is definitely tied to Bray Wyatt here.
No doubt. I don't see how she's not. And the reason I said, she didn't give up or tap out to Ronda.
She was smiling.
She was smiling like maniacally,
like the way they do in the movie The Smile.
Right.
Oh, that'd probably be intentional there.
And she's been seen just sitting down and like laughing, being edgier. Definitely see her being tied to the Wyatt Six some way, somehow.
So did you see the leak running down the leading candidates for each of Bray's people? Joe Gacy is Huskus.
Yep.
That's a lock. I think that's a no-brainer there.
Joe, I still got to see how that works. And I haven't followed NXT enough, admittedly. I do know Joe Gacy leads the Dyad, and they're called Schism. But I know he was doing something similar with Parker Boudreaux at one point. Redbeard is Mercy.
So I saw something that said Gacy wasn't going to be.
I did too.
Now this is October 14th, so we're talking 9 days ago, or 2 weeks ago.
They've tried to say Gacy and Waller.
So Waller's Mercy the Buzzard.
I'll see it happening.
Eric Rowan as Ramblin' Rabbit.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss as Sister Abigail. Bo Dallas as the Fiend.
Yep. So I believe, and I think,
but where's Liv falling? I mean, so obviously this is not to be taken with
two of those
gospel.
are accurate. I think two of those are accurate.
Rowan
and Bo.
Rowan. I mean, it seems like a lot of things are still moving. A lot of moving parts still happening.
I think you have Rowan and Bo.
Just those two alone, bro, with Bray in my mind is gold.
Yeah. Again, I don't know enough about Joe Gacy. I'm sure he'd probably be a good fit. but I don't. I definitely don't see more Grayson Waller. I don't see him fitting properly. And I think with Alexa, I think that whole thing has passed.
So I am still completely under the impression that there still may be a Wyatt 6, but I don't think it's going to be
I think
the characters from the Funhouse. Like, I think that, I think him coming back was just like a retrospective of his career so far. Like, I don't think it had anything to do with the direction they're going.
Yeah.
Because there's not been any mention of anything. Not that he can't have multiple personalities or that there's not other people in the group. I just don't think it's going to be the Buzzard and stuff like that. Like, I think that was just a journey through my career to this point. I'm back.
Well, and too, like, a lot of people think, like, you know, the Funhouse was destroyed. You know, the Funhouse by no means was destroyed. It was just dirty, like abandoned.
I think you have two women.
Alexa and Liv. Alexa has to be a part. But I think it was you, Jonathan, to your point, you know, the problem with Alexa, or maybe you did, but Alexa and Bray was that
Alexa held the power.
She outshined him. You know, so it's got to be done differently. You know, whatever they do.
I think
Bray's got to be.
Because let's not forget the Fiend got burned.
Yep.
I mean, it's not.
I think by Liv.
So I don't think by Liv.
Liv's the one that finally he got burned up and stuff by Randy, but you got to remember Liv was the one looking on when the Fiend finally lost. Just sitting there watching him in the final match.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, she was sitting there. She was
being involved at all.
She was sitting up there on the giant Jack in the Box.
Alexa,
that's what I meant. Sorry, I said
I was like,
bad. I meant Alexa.
was so confused. I was like, why was Liv involved?
No, I meant Alexa.
And then how was this involve Randy too? Because Randy's been out.
Yeah, he's been hurt.
You know, Randy's not going to just come back and be thrown into like, Riddle again. I don't know.
So, some people have mentioned Riddle joining and being Rambling Rabbit because he talks so much.
Oh my God, I'd quit. I quit.
I think
I can't unsee it.
I think you have Liv and Alexa as Abby the Witch and Sister Abigail. Because you've never really had Sister Abigail.
It's always been a mysterious. It's like the anonymous Raw general manager. Never seen him.
You had Abby the Witch, which everyone assumes is supposed to be Sister Abigail. Or a form of Sister Abigail. And Alexa was still Alexa. She was just with her Lily doll. Yeah.
I'm just not sold. Like I said, I just think that all the stuff they did for Wyatt's return was just for, like, it just seemed to play all the way through his career up to that point. So I don't think there's going to be.
I'm completely okay if they don't allude to all these different past characters.
But they're going
to.
T-bet.
Okay. I don't know. What else, guys?
So Cole said 5 days ago, he said, you didn't come this far to only come this far. That was what I saw. But it was a picture of him, like, in his ring gear. So he could be on the way back. But
that was a concussion, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm. Did you see what
Forbidden Door?
Did you see what New Japan said about Carl Anderson?
Yeah, they're pissed.
I mean, like 30 minutes ago.
No.
I saw something where they were still advertising for being there.
So they said New Japan says Carl Anderson will vacate the Never Openweight Championship if he works Crown Jewel instead of New Japan's event that day, per the company. And then they wrote out like a press release that said, Carl Anderson posted a video on social media indicating that he would not be making his advertised commitment on November 5th in Osaka. New Japan had announced Anderson's match with Hikuleo for the Never Openweight Championship on October 4th. Despite comments from Doc Gallows to the contrary in Anderson's video, the booking was made through the appropriate channels and with Anderson's expressed approval. However, after the match's announcement, both Gallows and Anderson would appear on October 10th's edition of Monday Night Raw. This led to WWE announcing a match where both men for Saudi Arabia that will also be held on November 5th in direct conflict with Anderson's prior commitment. New Japan has for the past several days attempted to negotiate with Anderson, but has not been met with a response. Should Anderson decide to renege on his scheduled championship match, he will be required to vacate the championship and return the belt to New Japan immediately.
Okay, so the Good Brothers are not going to burn their bridge with New Japan. Carl Anderson is not going to burn their bridge with New Japan. This is a work. There's something going down. I think there's, based on reports I read the other day, that there's some sort of
I saw something with WWE and New Japan too.
Yeah, there's some sort of deal. I don't know if a deal, handshake deal, something coming down the pipeline with all these companies. I think we're going to be in for something pretty special.
WrestleMania season.
Yeah, I mean it's.
You want to make a T-bet on that too?
No, it's not. Oh no. Not everything's gonna be a T-bet, Jonathan. Not everything, but something was. I saw something about like the indie companies getting some sort of streaming service, like WWE and GCW working together.
That's what I saw. WWE and GCW.
Yeah,
that I could see.
Well,
New Japan though.
I just think there's something bigger coming down the pipeline with all these companies. That's my guess.
Well, we know Hunter's when it comes to independent stuff.
Hunter's big on indies. Bless you.
Thank you.
Not when AEW and New Japan are booking Forbidden Door 2.
You heard nothing about that yet?
Okay.
Got to make sure enough people are healthy.
Yeah, I mean, it's just.
If that was coming down the pipeline soon, I could see that would be where Kenny and Young Bucks could come back because they could come back on the New Japan side.
I just think, I just really think the common denominator is a lot has changed in WWE with the Hunter thing.
I don't think as much has changed as we think.
You're so combative.
I'm not.
Well,
you just like to stir the pot.
I'm not stirring the pot. I'm
Say things you don't fully believe.
I do.
Ding, 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 ding. Round 1, fight. Well, what else, guys? That it? Anything else happening this week? We've run down the AEW card. November 5th at 2 weeks is PCW as well as Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewels.
Which I haven't seen anything for the PCW show yet.
I'm sure something will come down. Something will be announced here soon. It's going to be a good one, as always.
I mean, Halloween's this week coming up.
Yep.
Monday.
JD Drake on a podcast recently said he hopes that people gets to see his who he truly is in the ring.
Yeah, him and Anthony. They have to. I mean, shoot. Get the workhorseman to cost FTR.
God, give me the workhorseman FTR all day long.
All day.
Please.
All day. Then you'll see who James Jake who really is. I mean, it'd be good. What else? Handbook? Anything down there?
I was just trying to. I feel like there's something this week that we need to talk about, but
What are we missing?
I don't know.
We hit Black Adam. We hit football.
Oh, yeah.
We've hit wrestling.
We hit our little Debbie Christmas tree debate.
Yeah.
That's no debate. There he sucked.
Yeah, it's definitely one-sided.
And, well, we all know Elliot's a master debater.
That's awful.
Yeah.
Funny, though.
Thank you.
But one thing as a we didn't talk about when we were talking about football, but this is just as a Titans fan, the Titans, they announced like last week that they're in the process of their new stadium, and they released like pre mock-ups of what the stadium is what they want it to look like, and it looks amazing. So they're taking a lot of inspiration from SoFi
Oh, sure.
And Allegiant Stadium, so Vegas and L.A. But I mean, it's going to be right beside where the stadium's at now. They're going to build it and then I think tear down the old stadium. But
Then put it on top.
The renders, that'd be hard.
Build it, put it on top.
But the renders look amazing, so I'm excited about that.
That's it for me, man.
It's a new stadium for a team that still sucks. Great.
I mean, they're doing pretty good so far.
What's their record this year?
5-2, 4-3.
That's good. I don't know.
They're over 500. They're number one in the AFC South. I know that.
Oh, well.
We just swept the Colts. Sent Matt Ryan into retirement.
Did he really retire?
Oh, he's about to.
No, but they benched. I mean,
He's
the
got benched.
Colts come out and bench.
I
He's hurt.
know he got benched.
He's hurt, but they're using. I mean, that's what they're saying why they benched him. But they replaced him with
Sam Ellinger.
Sam Ellinger,
Yeah.
and they said it was also. They said it. Or somebody came out and said it was based on performance. So I think he's done.
Yeah.
He done.
Well,
And even though the Yankees did lose in baseball, we do have a World Series coming up.
Did
with
they?
with the Astros?
Swept. Wasn't even close. 20 strikeouts over 4 games. Aaron Judge getting booed in New York City.
He gone.
He gone.
we might go to Astros.
So I shared an article that said the Dodgers would be willing to let Trey Turner walk because he plays second. But that's also Mookie Betts' like backup position, so they would move Mookie to second and then go after Judge. And then I saw a report tonight that said the Giants were all in and that they would basically pay whatever he wants.
He gone.
So
I wasn't so confident on it before, but I think Aaron Judge is done in New York City. I think he's getting a $400 million contract.
It was Trout. Is Trout the highest paid right now?
he's up there. He was. I don't know if he's still the highest.
Or was the other guy from the Nationals? What was his name? He went to Phillies.
Harper.
Highest paid in MLB is
Bryce Harper.
Max Scherzer, $43.3 million.
That's
Mike
1
Trout,
year.
in a year. Biggest contract. That I'm not sure.
Mike Trout signed for a long
Trout's up
time.
But
there.
Garrett Cole got 37 million in New York City for the Yankees.
Yeah, Trout's up there. Harper's up there.
Trout, 35.5 million. Carlos Correa, number 4.
A lot of Braves fans are hoping they'll pay.
Oh, here we go. I got them all. Matt Scherzer number 1. Garrett Cole, Mike Trout, Carlos Correa, Steven Strasburg, Francisco Lindor,
Strasburg's up there.
and Nolan
Pitcher.
Arenado.
So the World Series starts Friday. So any predictions? Phillies, Astros.
Astros look good.
In what?
6.
5.
I think Astros in 6. 4-2.
I'll just to be on the other side, I'll say Phillies in 6. Phillies are hot. I mean, they look good. I mean, Astros are.
Let's. I think stat for stat, offense, defense. I think we're in for like the most balanced.
Just look for the center field cameras.
We got the most balanced World Series. I think we had the best team from each conference. I'm excited. So what do you think? You think Judge gets $40 million a year?
Yeah.
He might get $50 million.
I don't think he'll get 50. I think he'll break 40.
That's a lot of money.
Has become the highest paid.
Yes. That'll hit. So that right now, highest paid is $43 million right now.
So he gets 45.
We get 45.
I'm not willing to go that far.
Well, folks,
T-Bet?
I'll have to think on that one.
I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting on confirmation
well,
about the
folks, this has
McCaffrey
been a
one.
great episode of the Lowdown Podcast.
Yeah.
I got receipts on my phone that we had talked about it. Now he wants to, be like,
Dynamite tonight.
Well, guys, you heard it. We'll let you know next week about more T-Bets. I'm Elliot.
I'm Shane.
and I'm Johnathan.
This has been the Lowdown Podcast, and as always, let's keep it popping.
to leave my